Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I love this.
My name's Jay Milne. Hashtag Glue Crew.
Our sports update deliverer. The Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today. You know what, Reid? You might have something.
All right, here's what's going on in the nest.
Closer to the hollow. The devil
Don't try to frighten me with your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader. How's it going? Happy Monday afternoon. It's 3 o'clock Mountain Time. Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. It is indeed the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Despite the favorite hockey team for many of you getting absolutely throttled twice in a row. Of course, we'll dive into that. We both attended U of A sporting events over the weekend, so we'll touch on those as well. In fact, we're going to have a Golden Bears defenseman, one of the best names ever in sports, Aidan de la Gorgendiere. Golden Bears defenseman, couple goals last night in their Game 3 win over the Calgary Dinos. He will join us a little bit later on. We'll dive into some other stuff as well. And, of course, we're happy to hear from you. 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. You can email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com. I often get limericks sent to me, and I already have one sent in. It's amazing how people just get right on that. Well, it's the big uke, but other people send in limericks as well. And, of course, if you are consuming the show on YouTube, which includes a video stream if you would like to look at us. And, by the way, if you are taking us in on YouTube, you are in for a treat in about 13 minutes. And because we have a special video presentation of a young Jason Milne. Now, we realize some of you can't get on YouTube, so thank you, whoever you're consuming the show. We have the audio stream on our website, edmontonsportstalk.com. We have the TuneIn Radio app. We have the iHeartRadio app. But I'm going to say this, and of course, yes, you may be thinking, well, Reid, you work for the station, you work for the show. Of course, you're going to tell people to consume it. Yes, of course I will. But I want to say this. If you can't watch in about 12 minutes, I think you will hear us talking about this, and you will want to go back and watch what this is. I don't want to give it all away. Well, all I'm going to say is it's a Jason Milne, my colleague here, and I'll let you talk in a while, Jason. Just hang on, okay? You're going to get in there. Apparently, once he did a 4-minute interview with Wally Buono, and Buono said 6 words. That's what someone told me once. Anyway, everybody knows who that was, right? I would hope. Like, would I just say he?
Halsey.
Yeah, people should know who that is. Absolute beautiful man, by the way. But I mean, you gotta have. If you worked at Ched, you have to have a Halsey impression. It's part of the contract. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So if you aren't on the video stream on YouTube right now, you'll want to go back and check this after the fact when you get home or you have sec to watch video tonight, because we have shocking video from earlier in Jason Milne's life. And it's going to set up our off-topic topic for William Huff. That's all I'll say for now. Because I want to let you describe it and talk about it more, but I have to give it a little bit of a tease here so people know, wow, like something's coming here. That's going to give them a peek, I think, not just into your athletic prowess, but possibly into your personality as well.
We shall get into it. I think you've done a good job hyping it.
Thank you.
I think you should be the official. I'd like to sign you right now as my hype guy. You just follow me around wherever I go. You just, hey, you know who this guy is, and just tell him and hype me up.
I know who you are. What people would say. Hey, everybody, look who's coming through. It's Jason. I know who you are.
But you'd have to be the hype guy in the book.
Have you come at long last? Yeah, exactly. The bookbinder as the ring announcer. Entering the ring. He's got a big tome he's reading out of.
Good word.
And now entering the ring, weighing in at 6'2", 205 pounds, from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, Jason Milne. That would be it. If you're in the Nasty Chat on YouTube, by the way, if you're on YouTube, we have the Nasty Chat going there down the side. If you're new to the show, it's just the regular chat on YouTube, but Dustin Nielsen dubbed it the Nasty Chat a few years ago. Sometimes we call it the Diabolical Dialogue. Don't be afraid. It's not as if you have to be like nasty or cruel to be in there. Sometimes people say nasty or cruel things in there, but generally it's a very positive and exchange-filled environment. And give us a thumbs up, by the way. That's very important to give us a thumbs up on YouTube. And I was watching a video. It was probably some board gaming video I was watching on the weekend. And at the beginning, the guy said, "Please give my video a thumbs up because it'll help other people into board games find this video or get it suggested to them." So we're not just some flu coagans like just making stuff up. We're legitimate people that want your thumbs.
Flu what?
Flu coagans. I don't know what that is. It's just a funny sounding word. It just sounded like a funny sequence of letters.
Flu coagans.
It means you're kind of like a person who makes things up.
Yeah.
So you would be a flu coagan by making up the word flu coagan, I think. But yeah, give us your thumbs. Our first plateau is 100, but of course, we want to get to 150 to get into double word of the day territory, which we do the word of the day sometime before 6 o'clock, usually near the end of the program. The Oilers practiced today in Tampa, Florida. Connor McDavid was not on the ice, so the line combinations I would take with a serious grain of salt. Draisaitl between Podkolzin and Savoie, who I thought did pretty good on the weekend, all things considered, how poorly the team played. Hyman was with Jeff Skinner and Arvidsson. Nugent Hopkins, Janmark and Brown, Henrique, Perry, and Kapanen. The 7 defensemen were in there, the 2 goalies, but McDavid not on the ice. He's probably exhausted. Just a guess.
Yeah. Take the day off.
Yeah.
Much deserved. Not much to gain. And I mean, obviously, we'll get into what happened over the weekend, but
we're going to dive hard into it.
We're gonna get on it.
So no McDavid on the ice. You will hear clips from Kirs Knoblauch and Darnell Nurse as we move along throughout the program. So that'll be fun. Well, I'm so excited for the off-topic topic now in 6.5 minutes.
Oh, well, you've really built it up. I failed to. This is going to really let a lot of people down, but it's not Brody or North Shore footage. Although I do have that.
We do have people thinking it's Brody, but did I not say athletic?
Yes.
Right.
Well, singing
should narrow it down for a bunch of people.
Should.
Yes.
I wonder if Sammy Hagar would consider his singing abilities to be athletic. I mean, you're moving and grooving all night.
Yeah, just hearing that.
Athlete.
All right. So the Oilers play the Lightning tomorrow. So we will do the show from 3:30 to 4:30. We'll do our show from 3:30 to 4:30. Tom and Hernan will take over at 4:30 tomorrow afternoon for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, and then we'll be back on with a very special guest, which maybe we'll talk more about later on in the show from 5:30 to 6. So we have one of those shows that's cut in a couple pieces tomorrow, which is cool because we got the Oilers pregame coverage. So quickly here, before we dive headfirst in some of the Oilers stuff, how is it at Pandas basketball on Saturday?
Oh, it's great atmosphere. You know what? It wasn't. I thought that there would have been a larger crowd, to be honest with you, given that it was probably their last game at Saville Center this year. But just they dominated from the start. It was great. Got to see Majot. Got to see Doug McLean. It was fun. And the alumni, the Pandas alumni, did a thing there, so they were all out. I got to wear my Block A sweater.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I never get to wear that.
So that's for 5-year players?
No, you have to be on a travel roster of a team for 3 straight years.
3 straight years.
And
Okay.
you get a Block A sweater.
So that's the one, and then it has that one gold stripe on the shoulder, on the left arm.
I should have
those are
grabbed
nice.
the picture. My wife wore hers too.
Okay.
Kinda nice.
I thought it only, I don't know, I should have known what it was, because I remember when I was doing Pandas and Golden Bears basketball, they
You'd
would
see 'em.
present those on seniors night.
Yeah.
So it's basically 3 straight years of being a regular on the team.
Being a starter.
Yeah.
Say. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was a good night. My kids were there. Fun.
I guess they made it 3 years because I don't know how many there are now, but I remember when I was covering basketball, they would always have 2 to 4 players on each team that played ACAC. I mean, now McEwen's in Canada West, but when I was doing it, you'd have often a player or 2 on each team that did 2 years at McEwen and then went to U of A for years 3 through 5.
Yeah, there's often times where you're transferring into the school and you're doing 2 to 3 years.
Like, do you remember Alex Steele? He was a really good basketball player. First couple of years I did the play-by-play. I think he was he might have been a McEwen athlete. He was. What he's doing. He was a heck of a player.
Yeah.
Like, not a big guy, but just a
great guy.
Really
too.
good player.
Really nice person.
Yeah, because you'd be just a little older than him, probably.
Yeah, we rolled together.
Oh, really?
That would have been part of the crew.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's awesome. Yeah.
Wasn't he an Ainley guy? Or was he Skona?
Oh, I don't remember. But yeah, he was an Edmonton guy.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if he's around. He'll check in if he's listening, eh?
Probably. Didn't have that on my bingo card today.
That's just a random Alex Steele reference. In the nasty chat, JCD780 says, are you guys doing an athlete of the day trivia today, or what day is that? That is Oilers game days, so we'll do it tomorrow. Well, JC780 has been missing them.
I have too. I was going to say that. It feels like it's been months since we've done a mystery athlete.
Yes, well, it's been a little over 2 weeks. Chaos Never Died in the nasty chat says, Reid playing Twilight Imperium? ? I have never played Twilight Imperium. I'm aware it's a very popular but very long game. Like, I hear don't games of Twilight Imperium take like 8 to 10 hours? And you have to have, I think it's best played at least a player count of 4. Like, that ain't, I've sworn that ain't happening in my life. Time commitment and having that many friends that would actually play with me.
Yeah, I don't know, Reid. I have nothing to offer here.
Yeah, well, Twilight Imperium would take, like, it'd be one of those, if we played it, we'd have to just leave it set up somewhere on a table here at Edmonton Sports Talk and just go in and do a turn a day for like a month.
Really?
Probably, yeah.
Sounds like,
I think it's an 8 to 10 hour game.
But like, what are you moving around?
It's a space exploration and area domination type game.
Twilight.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not based on the.
That's about.
It's not based on the popular book series.
Okay. Well, it's a fair question.
Did you read Twilight?
No.
What were the books in the Twilight series? Somebody's got to help us out here.
Not a clue.
Twilight Unhinged, and Twilight Unbound, I believe, were the names of the books.
Unbound, eh?
Yes. Well, I could put that back together for you. No, it's a title, sir. You're okay. Okay. Derek V says, do you think Tommy would spend some time away from Dungeons and Dragons to play with you?
Dungeons and Dragons.
He probably would not. He probably would not. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, what did I ask you? Oh, so you wore your Block A sweater.
Yeah.
And then we got sidetracked from there.
Meandering already. That's great.
Well,
That's good.
I had a whole weekend of not meandering on air. So how was the game?
It was good. Yeah. Good. Popcorn was good. Beer was cold.
Oh, you had
excellent.
beer. Nice.
Yeah, they have the U of A Golden Bears lager.
Yeah, I had one last night.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, they are.
Now, you went to a better event because it was over the span of, you went for 2 nights.
I went to game 2 on Saturday, which the Dinos rallied from a 2-0 third period deficit to beat the Bears 3-2 and forced the third and deciding game last night. The Bears won at 4-1. 1-0 Dinos after 1, 3-1 Bears after 2, and then the Bears got a goal with about 5 minutes left to put it away. But it was still tense. The Bears, as we often see, the Bears hockey team can forecheck. They can keep pucks alive. They certainly challenge other goaltenders, and the Calgary goalie was really good. The Dinos, in my mind, they kind of were relying on counterattacking to get their chances. You know, like, all right, we're going to collapse, take away the front of the net, try and block shots, and maybe steal a pass and go the other way. They didn't really do a lot getting the puck into the Bears end on their own and starting a forecheck. But they have a really good goaltender. Tatachuk is his last name. I didn't know much about him before. And I thought he was key to giving the Dinos a chance, but I think the Bears were the better team, and they won. They go to Mount Royal this coming weekend for a Canada West semifinal. if they win, they're in nationals, regardless of then what happens in the final series. But we'll talk more about that later on today. But I love going to Claire Drake. And
why did they have the third and final game at 7:00 on a Sunday night?
I don't know.
Why don't you move it earlier?
Well, I remember in past years they would
3:00.
have it at 6. But I don't know if they've ever done a matinee with the men's hockey.
Or maybe meet in the middle, 4:00. I mean, if you want to have young kids come to that game,
I'm not sure.
7:00, you're not finishing till 9. Like, it's just
Yeah,
too late.
I guess they just kept it all. I don't know. Yeah, the Pandas weren't home, so they didn't have to worry about anything else. But yeah, it was at 7 last night. I think they used to do the Sunday games at 6 when they needed one, but this one was at 7. All right, it's time for our off-topic topic. Presented by William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. Before I give you the exact topic for the off-topic topic, Jay Milne will take you through something very special.
Well, I was at my parents' house last night for Sunday dinner, and I often go looking through my old drawers, and I knew this. I had the tape that I gave out when I went to the CFL Combine. When you go to the Combine, you're testing, you're doing all these things, and back then, you'd have to bring a physical copy of your highlights, and everybody would hand them out to all the GMs that were there. So I went there with 9 CDs. They were and I knew I still had the master. So when I was at my parents' house last night, I went and I found it, and I brought it in today. The coup, Matty Uwanuk, put it onto did the things that make it go the things, and put it on the TVs and the computers. So this is the start. This is what I would consider one of my hardest hits that I've delivered. I'll leave it at that.
How old are you in this video?
22.
So if you're not on YouTube, it's end zone camera footage from Golden Bears at Simon Fraser. The quarterback drops back to pass, throws about a 15-yard pass into the left seam. Would that be?
Yep.
Jay Milne playing safety for the Golden Bears.
I read it from the start, too.
Well, you got to describe the hit. My God.
Yeah, so this is just a quick seam route, and the quarterback, like if you look at the start of it, I immediately start turning to my right. Even though that was the weak side of the field, he's looking there the whole way. So I find the receiver, and now, that being said, I would be kicked out of the game. I would probably be kicked out of the league for delivering a hit like this nowadays. But that was legal then.
Right.
That was called a great hit. And yeah, it was. This was one of my finer moments.
So this would be what, 20, 21 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a stunning hit. Like, you obliterated that young gentleman.
Yeah, he didn't get up after that.
Ever?
Well, could be laying there still, Reid. Tough to say. I don't know what's happening in Surrey, BC right now. But if we do have boots on the ground there, if you could check the field.
Do you remember his name?
No. But Marty Kipps was on that team.
Marty Kipps, former Lloyd Comp Baron, who I covered.
Yeah.
The 6 degrees of separation with us is not even 6 degrees.
So this is about one of 10 plays that are on this disc that I took with me to Toronto.
Or are we going to see other ones?
Not today. We'll just unveil
we're going
them.
to drop them in throughout the week.
We'll sprinkle them in whenever we see fit. Maybe I should put them to a musical montage.
Yeah, to Hit Me With Your Best Shot by Pat Benatar. Except you know how we would start it? Actually, that was the crowd in Simon Fraser after that hit. Well, that was, and again, I know a lot of you are on the audio stream, so you can't see that. Go back and watch it later. I mean, it's about 16 minutes into the show when we started rolling it. So, yeah, the receiver is cutting in, and Jay comes straight across.
And he did get he got the T-Rex
he
arms.
gave up on the catch.
Yeah.
And would you say you got him right on the chin?
Right on the kisser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you couldn't hit like that because your helmet to his helmet.
No,
basically.
and I almost, because he had to jump a bit, and I almost go up into him. And it was. Now, one of the hardest hits I've ever received in my life is also on this film.
Oh, wow.
That I'll cut up later. It was
okay.
At U of S in Saskatchewan, and they had a bull, as a running back, just a little bull.
Right.
And he came around the corner, I came around the corner, we met in the hole, and we both fell backwards from this hit. Yeah, it was bad.
Like, did you that one where you get up and look at each other and you're kind of like, okay, good. We both did a good job.
We're both like, oh, like cross-eyed. God bless it.
All right, give us the thumbs up on YouTube. Give Jay the thumbs up for sharing with us, one of the most violent moments of your life. I don't think that's
fair to say.
But you were known for that. But and we often talk now, and you acknowledge that hit would be illegal.
Oh, 100%.
And even then, it was.
Oh, that was fine.
It was fine. Yeah,
the ball was there. That wasn't.
But that's part of the reason they made that hit illegal, probably.
100%.
Right. But as we've often talked about on this show, you have to be. As I know, this sounds a little bit ugly, and hey, nobody likes dirty stuff or people getting hurt. But also, to be a high-level athlete, you have to have a little bit of that edge, or a lot of that edge. Like, what did we talk about with the Oilers' old farm team coach, Jerry Fleming, told him? Like, you have to have an FU to your personality.
Because if you have the other person will.
Yeah, you have to be a little bit like, I want to win so bad, I really don't care about your well-being. Now, we're not encouraging that. And plus, if you would have known, if you played in this era, you would have known I can't hit that guy like that.
Well, I would have taken his belly out.
You just lower a shoulder into his chest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be probably more painful, to be honest, short term.
Right.
But that was the way you were taught to hit. You were taught to hit, put your head on their head, right? That was just...
Right, I mean, which is now different.
Growing up playing football in the early 90s is a lot different than it is now.
Derek V says that's a pure setup pass from his quarterback. Put him in place to get destroyed. Do you agree with that?
Oh, that was a terrible throw. I mean, if you look at the
he's got to
quarterback...
zing it, doesn't he, if he's going to go there?
Well, you can't float it at all, no. And then, yeah.
And he also, if... I mean, look...
Put the ball behind him, maybe, so he has to turn.
Or even knee height.
Yeah, get him down. That was just bad.
It's like, okay, I'm going to throw it where it's probably incomplete, or if you catch it, you're just down.
Yeah.
And the worst you could do is fall on top of him.
That's right.
Yeah.
Knee him in the head, maybe,
accidentally. So this is all setting up our off-topic topic for William Huff. What footage of yourself from your younger days do you wish you had? It could be an athletic accomplishment. It could be some sort of a performance in a play or a speech or in a band. It could be a memorable family moment. But what footage of yourself from your younger days do you wish you had?
It's a great question. What do you wish you had?
You know, I guess maybe just for some nostalgia, because I'm coming up on 25 years since my first day in Lloydminster. It's March 13th. That was my first day in officially working in broadcasting.
World of broadcasting.
Yeah. I wasn't until I think the Wednesday that week till I did a TV, but I was on the radio first day in Lloyd, and then I think I did the TV sports either the Tuesday or the Wednesday. It's not, well, you just go. I mean, you're hired to work, right? I guess I would have some nostalgia to want to see my first television sportscast just to see how bad I was. Like some people are probably saying, like, I can't believe you were worse than you are now, Reid. I probably was.
We got to be able to track that down.
Maybe my parents have it on VHS, but where do you play VHS anymore?
I got a guy. I know a guy that can do the things and put them on the things. Okay.
Tape Tony. Hey, hey, give me that tape here. I got a machine for you.
There's a place on the south side. I did this with old family videos of my brothers. There is a place you can do it, and you can get them put on a little a USB drive.
Oh, nice. Okay. I don't know if anybody has that, but maybe that would be interesting to see. That was the first thing that popped into my mind when you asked me that.
I think that would be delightful.
It's work related, but still could be kind of neat. All right, 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. You can email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com and keep the chat going in the nasty chat. And if you are on YouTube, continue clicking that thumbs up. We want to get to 150. If everybody watching click now, we would be well over 150. So don't be a pleasure delayer. Get us there right away. Boost our spirits and yours, because I think some of you might your spirits boosted after how it went for the Oilers over the weekend. We'll dive into that when we bring you back. Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports.
Anaheim's Trevor Zegras has been suspended 3 games for landing a late hit to the head of Detroit's Michael Rasmussen from last night. And Rasmussen has been listed as day-to-day missing practice this morning. Meanwhile, Minnesota's Ryan Hartman has had his 10-game suspension dropped to 8 games by NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman. Hartman was originally suspended for driving his elbow into the head of Senators star Tim Stützle off a face-off, which caused him to bleed. And just 2 games tonight, LA hosts Vegas with the Sharks battling the Jets from Winnipeg. And basketball has Minnesota playing OKC. The Clippers tipping off with the Pistons, while Philly star Joel Embiid sits out against the Bulls as he gets imaging on his knee. And spring training rolls on with 8 live games. Cubs hold a steady 7-2 lead on the Padres in the 6th. The Diamondbacks hold the Guardians 4-3 at the bottom of the 7th, while the Athletics and Royals are tied at 1 apiece in the 7th inning as well. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. We have a brief intermission before the Reid Wilkins Show returns here on EST. I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
The grand opening sale at Sit and Sleep is almost over. This is your last chance to take advantage of the special introductory sale prices on all mattresses. Stop in today for a free pressure point scan using cutting-edge technology so sleepologists can identify the perfect mattress for you. Right now, get free local delivery on any mattress over $7.99 and receive a free bamboo cooling mattress protector. Enjoy grand opening savings with every mattress on sale. Join us on location today for the final celebrations at Sit and Sleep in South Common next to Planet Fitness. Don't miss out the grand opening sale ends soon.
Oh, hope you're having a great Monday afternoon. Hey, you know what? I got to let everybody know. Now, here's another question we can ask today on top of our off-topic topic, which is what footage of yourself from your younger days do you wish you had? As Jason Milne has dug up some footage. It actually was buried in a treasure chest in your backyard. He's dug up some footage of himself obliterating an opponent when he was a Golden Bear against Simon Fraser. If you're on YouTube, Coob is rolling the hit yet again. My goodness.
That was a good one.
Like you knocked him into next week.
Yeah, sure did.
What did your teammates say to that?
Woo! They were pretty pumped.
I also want to let people know, portions of this hour are presented by the Canadian Brew House. Now, if you took part, I don't know if we'll get any replies, but we got to ask. Because Jay and I tried the 40-ounce steak. They brought it in for us, probably 3 weeks ago now. And the Canadian Brew House had their 40-ounce steak night on Saturday. You got a 40-ounce ribeye, salad, mashed potatoes, veggies, and cheese toast for $49.99. Like, I just love that. Like, I wonder if people listening to that are, 40-ounce ribeye. Oh, it comes with a side. Oh, 2 sides. Oh, 3 sides. Oh, 5 sides. Or no, sorry. 4 sides. Salad, mashed potatoes, veggies, and cheese toast. It was $49.99. You had a chance to win a CBH Gearhead steak knife set. Of course, if you want to know more about the Canadian Brewhouse, go to one of their locations or go to thecanadianbrewhouse.com. But I want to know if anybody attempted, ate, whatever, the 40-ounce steak.
Yeah,
if any of our nasties went to a Canadian Brewhouse, were there on Saturday, tried the steak, saw someone else trying the steak, had a friend try the steak, tried to share the steak, ate the steak with your dog, Little Jingles, whatever. I want to know.
Great question. This one says, what about the footage of you binding the first ever book you've bound?
Well, that's not me.
That would be great.
That is the Alberta Bookbinder. Okay, and I don't know if there's footage of that. Jeez.
Timber Woodsman says, snowboarding at Lake Louise or surfing in Costa Rica when I lived in both places. That would be neat.
Oh, that'd be neat.
Andrew the Accountant. Easy sports answer for me is my triple play I made when I was 9.
Oh.
Bases were loaded, line drive to me at third, caught it with a jump, stepped on the bag, and tagged the guy coming from second.
No, see, that's awesome because
good.
I would guess that there are major leaguers who have never been part of a triple play.
Very
Well, maybe
easy.
when they're younger, but that was an unassisted triple play?
Yeah, and he was 9. So
there's got to be major leaguers who have not had an unassisted triple play.
he caught it, so batter's out,
Right.
tag the base, so third, the person running home would be out, and then tag the person coming in from second.
Well,
Because you have to run.
so
Bases loaded.
okay, so if you're a major league, now this is kind of very specific place I'm going to. The triple plays are rare. How many unassisted triple plays have there been in Major League Baseball history?
Gosh, I don't know.
Let's look up here. MLB unassisted triple plays. It's got to be a list of them. In Major League Baseball, a total of 15 players have fielded an unassisted triple play, making this feat rarer than a perfect game. So there have to be now. So even if you have made the major leagues, so if you've made the major leagues, you're playing hundreds of games a year, probably since your mid to late teens, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a major leaguer, you've probably been part of a triple play at some point. Probably at some point, because maybe you're on kind of some college team that's up 15-1 and the other team doesn't know how to run the bases. But if you're an outfielder, you're not being part of an unassisted triple play as an outfielder. It's virtually impossible. Like, you catch the ball, you got to throw it to somebody else.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So an unassisted triple play, you pretty much, and could you do it as a first baseman? It'd be hard.
Sure.
So if
you'd have to throw somebody out though.
That's the thing. Like, were you
could throw it
unassisted,
to second.
but I'm talking unassisted. No. You have to make all 3 outs by yourself.
No, you could only do that on third because you'd have the forced runner.
Well, I think you could do it on short or second.
Yeah, you could.
If there was a liner up the middle,
line drive,
you caught it, stepped, and there were runners on first and second. The runner on second stepped off. You step on second, and then you go tag the runner coming from first. But it'd be hard for a first baseman to do it.
You'd have to throw.
Yeah, so then it's not unassisted. So that's incredible.
At 9. He did that at 9.
I wonder if he knew what he'd done.
Right.
Well, I knew, you know what I mean?
He did say he says he replays in his head quite often.
That is pretty cool. Now, feats, yeah. I remember, I was really little, so I hate the minor hockey stories. I did get, as probably a 10-year-old, I got a hat trick on one shift. I had 3 goals in about 40 seconds, all on the same shift, yeah.
Now that I'd like to see.
But, I mean, I was just one of those players, I just went to the front of the net and I would score. My dad used to call me the garbage man. I couldn't score from more than 4 feet away. But, hey, somebody's got to go to the net. But that's awesome.
Big Uke says, final year midget gold medal versus another local team with the guys we went to high school with. Third period, we were losing. Game was basically over, and the biggest flew on their team. There you go. A guy no one really liked on either team came through the center ice with his head down. You do the math. I'd love to relive that moment just to hear my teammates freaking out like we won the whole thing.
That would be cool to see video of yourself doing something cool athletically. Even if you were younger and even if I'm not NHL or Major League Baseball caliber, but just to see how you did it.
And this one came in from, this is unnamed, but guys, just so you know, I can't respond to any text right now. Something's going on with our text. So I'm seeing you. I'd love to say thanks for that or help, converse with you, but I can't. This says, Jay, you should be playing D for the Oilers, bruh. And then he says, catching a foul ball at Edmonton Trappers when he was 10. Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be neat.
That'd be neat to see a little, you. And we do have somebody that did go and attempt the 40-ounce steak knife at Canadian Brew House. Had the 40-ounce steak Saturday, had about 15 ounces before I tapped out. Had 2 people at the table finish it. I'll have enough leftover steak to last the rest of the week. Yes, you will.
Yes, you will.
Man, 2 people finish it. That is impressive.
So 3 people ate the 40-ounce steak. Yeah. Well,
3.
that's what we probably estimated, that you would need 3 people to get through it. And you'd be full after your, whatever it be, 12 1/3 ounce each or whatever it would be.
I wonder if you can do that, because I think, can you say, oh, my wife and I are going to split it, or would they look at you funny?
I think you got to do it yourself.
I think in the spirit
of
it, you get it for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that fed my kids that later that night after basketball, they had steak bites. I was a hero.
You are very heroic. Have your kids ever seen you delivering that big hit?
No, actually. I don't think they have. I'll have to show them that whole highlight reel later. They'd love that.
Sorry.
No, for me, it's like, hey, girls, I used to be a big deal.
VR Montenegro. There's footage of me on classic ITV quiz show High Q hosted by Mike Sobel.
High Q, what a relic that is.
That's amazing.
That was a great show.
Yeah, there's got to be footage of that in some tape library.
I
somewhere.
loved High Q. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that is
what
good.
a name too.
Yeah, we're getting good submissions here.
Wow.
We're getting good submissions. I don't know if we can keep up with everything. Mex Bezozu, I sang Extremes More Than Words at a talent show in high school. I killed it with that song. That's awesome. Extreme. What was the lead singer's name? Gary Sharon? Do you know who he was the lead singer of after he was the lead singer of Extreme?
No.
I'll give you a hint. He replaced that guy in Van Halen.
He replaced Sammy Hagar?
Yes, the album Van Halen 3.
Oh.
Gary Sharon's the lead singer.
Right. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Do you know that...
That's not a very good record.
That song, More Than Words by Extreme, that was not supposed to be even released.
Why not?
Because they were quite a heavy band, Extreme.
Okay.
This was the one ballad that, you had to have on.
You got to slow it down.
And that's all they're known for now.
That's a good point.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the only song when you say Extreme More Than... Oh, yeah, I know that song.
Well, it's like Gager the other day, because we were playing music on our computers for work purposes.
Of course.
And Gager says, can you play When the Children Cry by White Lion? Like, White Lion was quite a heavy band, weren't they?
Yeah.
And they're known for this song about, isn't it famine? And war and famine and affecting children.
Yeah.
And it's a very slow, sentimental, basically sad song. But I think most of White Lions, somebody will know. I think most of their stuff was quite heavy and aggressive, wasn't it?
Well, and Extreme, yeah, but Extreme was kind of pissed off about it. Because that's now their calling card. That's all they're known for. They're like, we were a heavy metal band.
But you have to have your power ballad from the late 80s,
and what a
early
power
90s.
ballad that was.
You had to slow it down.
Well, I would recreate that with you if you wanted. We could just lip sync it, and we could do some cheeseball video, because there's quite the harmonies.
Well, didn't Jack Black and Fallon do that already?
Maybe, yeah. Great tune. I love that tune.
What was that? I often get that one confused with To Be With You by Mr. Big, though. Weren't they around the same time?
Yeah, they would be. Mr. Big would have been a bit newer, no? No,
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
I'm not sure which one came out first. Anyway, what got us talking about that? Oh, the off-topic topic for William Huff. Yes, Mex Bezozu said that Van Owen knew in the nasty chat that, yes, Van Halen was the band that Gary Sharon sang for after he was in Extreme. By the way, we're in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them, jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. All right, an alarming weekend for your Edmonton Oilers. We'll dive into the numbers when we get back.
NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman has appealed Minnesota's Ryan Hartman's 10-game suspension, reducing it to 8 games. Meanwhile, Trevor Zegras of the Ducks has been suspended 3 games for delivering a hit to the head of Michael Rasmussen of the Red Wings in yesterday's game. Zegras did not receive a penalty on the play, with Rasmussen now considered day-to-day missing practice this morning. And a light NHL slate sees Winnipeg hosting San Jose, while the Golden Knights meet the Kings, having the Oilers in action in Tampa Bay tomorrow. And 8 games fill the NBA schedule. Brooklyn visits Washington. The Nuggets tip off with the Pacers, while Philly plays without Joel Embiid against Chicago, as he sits out getting imaging done to his knee. It's the Raptors facing the Celtics tomorrow. In 7 games live in spring training, it's 8-7 Brewers over Mariners in the 6th. Cubs lead 8-4 on the Padres in the 7th, while the Giants trail 7-1 against the Angels, also in the 8th. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Find out how you can make an impact at findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. Crunching the numbers for Gallo LLP brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
All right, good to have you tuning in this afternoon. Oilers practice today. Connor McDavid not on the ice. Getting some rest, hopefully, after the Four Nations face-off in the 2 games on the weekend. Very bad weekend for the Oilers. Lost to a not very good Philadelphia team, and then lost to an excellent Washington Capitals team with Ovechkin getting the hat trick. Can I make a confession that just between you, me, and the listeners?
Yes.
I don't find myself overly interested in the Ovechkin goal chase, and I'm not sure why. I mean, I know he's going to break the record. I know it's a thing. I know it'll be talked about, but I don't find it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a weirdo.
I don't think you are. I think I don't know. I'm not.
Maybe I just think about other
on
things.
The edge of my seat for it. It's a feat for sure. I think there's just so many. For us here, there's a lot of distance between that,
right?
And actually caring a lot more than maybe you would. And there's external factors as well with Ovechkin that are looming a lot more now than they would have been, say, 4 or 5 years ago.
Sure. Yeah, but I don't know. I was like, I wasn't unhappy that he got a hat trick. Well, I was unhappy for all the Oilers fans that made unhappy that Washington beat the Oilers that bad. But I'm just kind of like, okay, he's going to get the record once he's won away. Then maybe I'll care a little bit more as opposed to a several-month lead-up. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Just some quick, before we dive into some other stuff and get people's feedback or thoughts, obviously a terrible weekend. The defending is very, very bad. The penalty kill is very, very bad, which we're going to talk about. As disappointing as pretty much that all was, except for maybe most of the first period in Philadelphia, they kind of played okay. One of the most disappointing things about all that was being down 2 goals in Philadelphia going into the third and getting 3 shots on goal the entire third period. I mean, they had no offensive thrust at all against a team that probably you could have come back against, if you'd be able to put any sort of sustained pressure together. Now, that's not, we're going to talk about other things as well, but that's the one thing that I found almost the most mystifying, because they've shown they can come back. And as even though this seems like a major crisis, I don't think it is, which I will explain why. And I'm not brushing it under the carpet, but I don't know if it's a major crisis. But we have seen them, and it happens to any team, we have seen them let in a lot of goals in some other games before. I don't know how often we've seen them, especially against not a very good team, just not even make it interesting in the third period. Like that was a bad third period.
Lackluster. It was a turd. It was bad. And, the question is, because everybody else had the same amount of time off, right? I mean, some of the star players off your team were playing in the Four Nations face-off. I get it. But for them to come out and lay an egg like that, and then follow it up with yesterday's performance.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we'll continue down here. I will say this, that February has not been favorable in recent years to the Oilers anyhow. Back-to-back 2 matinee games on the road. Let's see how the rest of this goes. I mean, there's 3 more games in this road trip. How many do you think they're going to get, Reid?
None.
You're confident in saying that they're just going to blank with this.
Yep. Because I think there's going to be a major crisis before they put it together again and maybe get a little bit of help at the deadline.
You said something interesting there. Before they put it together again.
Well, they will put it together again.
Yes, I agree with that.
Every team in the NHL does play badly at some point, and sometimes for extended stretches. Vegas had a bad run a few weeks ago, and now they're starting to play a little better.
Well, now they've won 3 in a row, right?
Right.
But if you look at the rest of the Pacific Division, Vegas is 5-3-2 in their last 10. The Kings are 5-3-2. Colorado's 5-5-0. And Vancouver's 6-3-1. Edmonton's 5-4-1 in their last 10. Nobody's lighting the world on fire in this division. So if there is a time to be laying eggs, it's right now, because nobody else is catching anybody anyways. Now, if you could get some wins together, other than Vegas, the rest of the Pacific Division's not playing very well either.
Yeah. I do think they're going to put it together, and I will talk about why. I know there's a lot of discussion about the goaltending. Look, I'm not going to say much different about Stuart Skinner than I've said all year. I do not think he's a top-tier goaltender in the NHL. I think there's 6 or 7 guys who over the stretch of 3 or 4 years have proven they're pretty darn consistent and near the top. I think that Skinner as a whole would be playing beneath my hopes and expectations for him this season. I think that here's my thing about Skinner. And I've talked in the past that sometimes, I'd like to see him battle screws through screens a little better and get a piece of shots coming in from the point. I don't think his lateral movement has been very good this season, probably down from where it was last year. And as you know, Jay, I don't jump on every goal against. And if you watch some of the goals the Oilers score, if you watch highlights from around the league, there are always shots that aren't necessarily great shots, or you think, well, the goalie could have stopped it. So I don't think I don't think every goal that goes in is a bad goal. But I look at, okay, the game against Colorado, he it was McKinnon, but it wasn't McKinnon's best shot. It was Makar, but it wasn't Makar's best shot. He let in two that were both very questionable, very soft. He got pulled. I think Pickard yesterday let in the worst goal of the weekend, that shot from the line.
Yeah.
But specifically with Skinner, because he's the guy that plays more and is the Oilers' number one at the moment, I don't think he lets in a lot of what I consider to be absolutely stinky goals. Now, my definition of a stinky goal is probably different than a lot of people, or some people. But I think that Skinner right now, or at least in stretches this season, does not make enough really difficult saves. And what's the old saying about goaltending? Stop all the ones that you should and a few that you shouldn't.
Correct.
So, and that's what I look at the game in Philadelphia. The Oilers defending were garbage. The Oilers turnovers, they committed way too many turnovers and gave up way too many rushes. And to be fair, Skinner did stop a 2-on-0 and I think another partial breakaway. But there were some other instances in which you would have said, man, we needed a bailout save there. Like Jordan Binnington did in overtime. I don't even remember the two goals the States scored in regulation time.
They were greasy.
I don't even remember them. Well, they were both in front of the net, chipping away at the puck.
Yeah.
But in overtime, he got called on 3 or 4 times to keep the game alive, and he did it. And on all those chances, you probably wouldn't have faulted Binnington for any of the goals. If Matthews puts that one under the crossbar, that looks like where it was going, nobody's on Binnington, right? If Matthews gets that one over Binnington's blocker, probably no one's criticizing Binnington, but he made a couple difficult saves. So that's where I am at with Skinner, and I maybe in some ways Pickard as well. Or Pickard, sorry. Playing too much Star Trek on the weekend. I don't think that we see a lot of he let in another slap shot from the neutral zone, like those types of goals. But I think we're saying, okay, are the Oilers bailed out when they're having a bad night enough by, I'll say Skinner because he's more in the crossfires because he plays more because he's the number one. That's kind of where I'm at with the goaltending. Well, not kind of. That is where I'm at.
But could you say it's just more than, right now, in their last 6 games, they're 2-4. You know what their penalty kill percentages?
By the way, we're crunching the numbers for Gallo LLP. Gallo LLP, chartered professional accountants, where they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John at Gallo LLP if you would like to discuss further how they can crunch your numbers and help your business grow. Visit their website, gallollp.ca. See how Gallo LLP can help your business grow. What is it?
38.5%.
Their penalty kill is 38.5% in the last how many games?
February 1st.
And they're 2-4 in those games. Right.
You know what they were the first 6 games of the year? 2-4.
Oh, win-loss, yes.
Win-loss with a 55% penalty kill. And during both those stretches, the save percentage was right around .855. So this is not forlorn to the team. This has happened before. Okay? Now, when you combine that with that penalty kill, it has been recently awful. Goaltending's been questionable. It hasn't been, you're right, it hasn't stolen you games. Hasn't been those big saves that you need to keep you in a game. When you combine that, there's no question this team looks like hot garbage, since coming back. Right. And that might continue. But this is not, if you look at Stu Skinner's numbers from last year, okay? November 23rd to February 24th, he played, this is last year, so the 2023 to 2024, he had a .934 save percentage. November to January 25th this year, he had a .920 save percentage. February of 2024, 2-4-1, .865 save percentage. January to February of 2025, he's played 9 games, 3-4-1, .885. This has happened. And then starting again in March, ramped it up, .941. April, .927.
He was .941 last March?
Yeah, early March, .941. He was 5-0-2. Then the last 5 games, he dipped down. He was 3-1-1, .892.
In my mind, there are 3 very distinct sections to this year's season. I'm going to start with the penalty kill, as you referenced. In October, the Oilers played 11 games. The penalty kill was 62.5%. They then played 26 games in November and December and had 85.5% on the PK. And now in their last 20 games since the start of January, it's below 70% again at 68.2, right? In October, save percentage, Pickard 897, Skinner 872. In November and December, Pickard 899, Skinner 906. And that's where I said Skinner, if he's around 905, he always gives the Oilers a chance. And in January and February, Skinner is still 902, though obviously the last couple of games haven't been good, and Pickard's at 892. I saw Defscript putting in the nasty chat, your goaltender has to be your best penalty killer. Yeah, sure, but you also have to do other things on the PK. Right? Like the Oilers' PK, it just has not been as efficient, and I don't think it's all on the goaltending that they're getting scored on the PK.
Well, I mean, just like free agency isn't won in the offseason for the Elks, well, the Stanley Cup's not won in February, right? This sloppy, clumsy play, it's going to happen. It's bound to happen. Now, would you rather say, okay, get this out of the way now and then start building and building for a better March into April?
Well, I just think slumps and bad stretches of play happen regardless. I mean, you can even have a slump in the playoffs and still
the Oilers did
still be
last
successful
year
in the playoffs.
Yeah,
even if you don't win the cup. Look, and we're going to talk about this. I do think there are deficiencies on the team. Okay. I won't start that conversation now because it's going to take several minutes. But the thing that I think back to, and this is I guess the logical part of my brain that people who are emotional today won't want to hear this. By the way, keep clicking the thumbs up on YouTube. Let's see if we can get over 100 by 4 o'clock. Click, click, click away. I think that these results are obviously, upsetting to people, especially to lose to Philadelphia that bad. I mean, you might understand it against Washington if you'd won in Philadelphia, and then it's just like, hey, Washington's on fire right now. But I mean, they stunk both games. They lost to Colorado before the break. They haven't. In their last 7 games, they have not won in regulation time. Their 2 wins were in overtime. It's a bad stretch. They came out of a 2-week break, which 90% of the players had, and I mean, they looked this weekend like they were at the end of playing 8 games in 12 days or something like that. But the counter to that in the logical side of my brain is last April 3rd, okay, a couple weeks before the playoffs started, the Oilers lost 5-0 in Dallas. And there was part of me at that time thinking to myself, okay, they aren't good enough. They're ramping up for the playoffs. They're good. Dallas is good. They got to treat this like a playoff game. And they stunk, and they lost 5-0. And then, of course, they win the first 2 rounds. They play Dallas in the playoffs and beat them, right? So that's why I don't want to look at a couple of regular season games and say, well, that's it. They can't go anywhere in the postseason. Because it's not that. Like, the playoffs is a whole another life of its own once you get there. Once you get there. So I don't want to sit there and say, well, if you can't beat Washington, you can't do anything in the playoffs, because I was saying that to myself last April when they lost to Dallas, and I was totally wrong. Right?
Yeah. And on the whole, this is quite a small sample size, right? But I don't know. I know that the teams are going to go through ebbs and flows. It's going to happen. You said it happens in the playoffs. So if this is something, hey, let's get this out of the way and start ramping it up, then yeah. But you're right. There is deficiencies, and we can get into it more after the break. But I mean, Reid, what was going on in the defensive zone yesterday? I
think just incredibly passive in my mind.
Passive, and that pisses me off because that's effort. At least try. If you're going 110% and you're skating like a madman and make mistakes at full speed.
Right.
Not at half speed. You can't live with that, right?
All right, 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. You continue posting in the nasty chat on YouTube. Click away at that thumbs up. Let's see how quickly here we can get to 100 and then get to 150, which is word of the day territory. Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com is the email. Looking for your limericks, as always, and what other comments you'd like to have. The Oil Understood comments from Knoblauch and Nurse when we get back.
The Lock Shop.
How about Homan, buddy? Curling 100% in the final? Come on.
Dude, I tweeted this out last night. Rachel Homan right now is 2001 Tiger Woods.
Oh, wow.
Back-to-back years not losing a game at the Scotties, like that just simply doesn't happen. I felt brutal for Carrie yesterday. It did not matter what they did. No matter what, Homan would execute perfectly, literally perfect.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. March 21st, don't miss Grits and Glamour, two country icons, Pam Tillis and Lori Morgan. Live at the venue at the River Cree.
Except for Monday, which was never good anyway. Tuesday, I get a little.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your bad game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you gotta do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your bad game. Play more tables and games.
PlayMoreGames.ca.
Ryan Hartman's 10-game suspension has been reduced to 8 games, with the Wild forward eligible to return to action March 4th against the Kraken. Meanwhile, Anaheim's Trevor Zegras has been suspended 3 games for landing a late hit to the head of Detroit's Michael Rasmussen last night, with Rasmussen listed as day-to-day missing practice this morning. In just 2 games on tap tonight, LA hosts Vegas while the Sharks battle the Jets in Winnipeg. And in the association, Minnesota plays OKC. The Clippers tip off with the Pistons, while Philly star Joel Embiid sits out against the Bulls as he gets imaging on his knee. Elsewhere, spring training rolls on with 2 active games. It's 8-5 Cubs over Padres in the 8th, while the Brewers trail the Mariners 9-8 in the 7th. Earlier, the Diamondbacks etched out the Guardians 4-3, and tomorrow, the Blue Jays and Cardinals go at it. From Cleveland, the Guardians have announced the passing of longtime owner Lawrence Dolan. Dolan was the franchise's longest tenured owner, buying the team in early 2000. Dolan lived to 94 years old. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Got a message from someone tuning in from the southeastern United States. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
it's an honor.
It's very much so an honor.
It's an honor and a privilege.
Wow.
As the Oilers, of course, in Tampa, practicing today. McDavid wasn't on the ice, as the Oilers will play Tampa Bay tomorrow. Was it a 5:30 game? So Jay and I will have this show from 3 to 4:30. Tom and Hernan will have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show from 4:30 to 5:30, and then Jay and I will wrap it up from 5:30 to 6. What's going on with your coffee there?
Well, I was going to say maybe McDavid's not on the ice because he's getting traded.
Holding them out. Okay.
Yep. Maybe something's going on,
Thanks
guys.
for suggesting that.
Breaking
that's
news.
Great.
Well, I just discovered here that I think that Timmy's roll up the rim is back.
Where was it?
It was gone.
Where did it go?
It was digital. You had to do it on your app.
Oh, so you just got a code on your cup?
Yeah, it was
But
gone.
didn't you still roll up the rim?
No.
Where was the code?
It was like
Did you scratch it or something?
So
what happened? You would require the Tim Hortons app, and you'd have to scan it just through the phone. So when you go and order, instead of saying like, "Hey, like I'm just getting a double," they'll have to be like, "Okay, you want to roll up the rim to win prizes? Perhaps you need the app." So
yeah, I don't want to do
But
an app.
now you're
I just
rolling
want-
it up.
I rolled up my rim. You know
And
what
did
said?
it say?
Please pray again.
Pray again?
Play.
You don't believe. Pray harder and you'll get
Pray
a free
more.
coffee.
No, but that like don't.
So
give me
how
a-
did you know though?
Well, truthfully, I saw our Jess Jackson earlier. She posted a video on Twitter saying it's back, and she rolled up her rim, and same thing. Please play again.
Oh wow. So because I don't.
That's
do you have to
exciting
get
for
a
me.
certain size of coffee though?
I don't believe so.
Because I usually just get a little coffee from Tim's if I get one.
If you do, you got me this one today. Thank you for that.
I did.
by the
You're
way.
welcome.
It was very thoughtful of you.
Well, I'm a nice man.
You are one of the nicest in the biz.
Well, we'll see.
But yeah, like, don't give me an app. I don't want an app when I'm buying a coffee. I don't want to do anything that gives you anything more than just my $2 and whatever cents for my coffee. Leave me alone and let me roll up the rim myself. Got it?
But isn't it hard to roll it up? I don't know.
I just did it in about 10, not even, probably sub 10, bro. Probably 6-8 flat.
That's awesome. If you want to get in touch, you can jump into the nasty chat on YouTube. No, Grant, I'm not going to read your message.
Good try. Almost hand-waved
good
us.
try, Grant. Good try. You can email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com. And, of course, the number to text the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday. That is from 4 to 10 p.m. Do we have any off-topic topic? Or
We
do you want
do.
to circle back later? We can do them later if you want.
Yeah, we can do some later, sure.
Okay, yeah. The off-topic topic for William Huff is what footage of yourself from your younger days do you wish you had? Because Jay Milne found footage of himself absolutely devastating an opponent in a football game from about 20 years ago. A hard but then legal hit. If you're on the YouTube feed, Zach Kubish is rolling it once again. The footage is a pass to the offense's left side. Jay Milne moves to his right as the safety and makes a massive helmet-to-helmet hit against the intended receiver, sending him crumbling onto his back, and I believe out of the game.
Yes.
My goodness.
Yeah, bad Jay.
Well, you were doing your job. That was your job.
Damn right, bro.
By the way, keep giving us the thumbs up on YouTube as we're almost at 100. Get us over 100 initially, and then we'll work on our word of the day plateaus. Okay, let's dive into the oil understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel! Understood. All right. Head coach of the team, Kirs Knoblauch, commenting after the team's practice today.
Just a reset. We need to put last couple of games behind us and learn from. We have lots to learn from, but I just think everyone needs to just get a little bit better. This one guy's not going to turn it around, or whether it's a defenseman forward, goalie standing on his head. Just collectively, we got to be much better. And you look at our stretch through January. I think we're into February, like 11-3 little stretch there, and even before that, very similar stretch. Yeah, we're obviously getting big contributions from Leon and Connor, but a lot of the other guys playing well, and just right now, everyone's just not playing up to their potential.
All right. So, yeah, I think that's Knoblauch saying what we have been saying. It is a downturn for the team. It's been kind of discouraging that it's gone on this long. It is reminiscent, at least in my mind, it is reminiscent of the start of the season when they just looked like they couldn't play defense. They couldn't get a big save. They certainly couldn't kill a penalty, which the penalty kill earlier in the season was even worse than it has been lately. So, yes, I do think the Oilers are going to come out of this. I do think they are going to play better. I also think that there are some areas they would like to upgrade before the playoffs, which we'll talk about here in a second. The trade deadline's next Friday, by the way, already. That's soon.
11 days away, Reid.
Wow. Darnell Nurse on today's practice.
No, just come out and work and keep chipping away. I think our group has played a lot of good hockey over the course of the season. If you zoom out and look at it as a whole, we haven't been happy with obviously how the last two and probably a little bit of stretch before that have gone. But for us, we get back to work and get back to playing the way we're capable of playing.
Right. So this sense that this isn't the true Oilers team. I have that sense as well. I think they can play better. I think they can kill penalties better, though there is a bit of that's a little bit of alarming. Like it's under 70% the last couple of months. I guess it's been driven down by what are they the last 6 games? 38%?
38.5.
So they're not even close to halfway good on the penalty kill the last 6 games.
And it's not like they're giving up. In those 6 games, it's not like they're giving up, way more penalties than the rest of the NHL. They've given up 15 penalties, which puts them about middle of the pack for the last 6 games or since February 1st.
Right.
But 38.5%.
That's atrocious.
Well, it's one of these things, Reid, that you alluded to earlier in the year, that these numbers aren't going to last long term. You damn near guaranteed it, right? That these aren't sustainable numbers with shooting percentage and your penalty kill or the power play at that point. It's just a rough go. Now, the question I have is, why? Why is it? I mean, I get what Darnell Nurse said there, right? When you look at the body of work, this is a talented hockey team.
I'm not sure with the penalty kill because, again, the good stretch was not, they went 77% instead of 70%. The good stretch was 26 games, that's a third of the season, of going 85.5%. That's really good.
Really good.
And they were really good last year in the playoffs. But then when the penalty kill struggles, I mean, again, sub 70% for a couple of significant stretches. Yeah, I think, sure, I know somebody said, well, it's your goalie needs to be your best penalty killer. I get that, but I think there have been some other issues at play.
Well, it's a combination,
and
too.
I mean, look, yesterday Ovechkin scores a power play goal that he's done dozens of times in his career. Fires the one-timer, so that's a team that playing to its strength. And, when Draisaitl scores like that, we don't criticize the other team's PK.
Well, the first goal of the game was classic Draisaitl into a wide-open net.
Right, but the PK has been quite bad lately. I know what they're trying to do on the penalty kill. They try to force the puck into certain areas of the ice, and they don't pursue a puck unless they know they can get it or really put some pressure on the other player. Like if they know they're going to lose a race to the puck or are 90% sure, they don't bother going engaging. They let the guy get the puck, they set up their penalty kill, and they try to force the puck to certain areas. But yeah, it's just been absolutely atrocious lately. I thought also from the weekend, I think a lot of players struggled, obviously. I thought Klingberg had a really rough game yesterday.
Yes.
So here's my bigger picture thing for the trade deadline. I think they still need to look for a defenseman. Now, I'm not writing Klingberg off. I know he's coming back from major surgery. I know he went, 14 months between playing? It was 13 or 14 months between playing. It was a long time. I do think he is still an upgrade on Troy Stecher, which is how I saw him coming in here. Not that he was going to push Evan Bouchard to the side. But I think that they need to add a good defender or a solid defender before they go into the postseason. I think that is vital.
How solid? Are you talking like an Ekholm?
They won't get somebody that good.
Right. So an upgraded version of Kulak?
I think they need a slightly more experienced Emberson, quite frankly. The Kulak's having quite a good year.
Sure, that's what I said. Like a better than I mean, even though Kulak's playing above average by far, I would say, or at least what the expectations were from Oilers fans this season for Kulak. And a better Emberson or a more experienced Emberson?
Like more experienced. Like I don't think they have to worry about offense.
No, they don't.
They just need somebody who can shut it down and keep it quiet.
Which is, I think, also why, Reid, and that's a good point to bring up, because I think that's why Bouchard is everybody's ripping on him, is because his strength is his offensive game, although he has not scored a power play goal this year.
Right.
But that's what Evan Bouchard brings to the table, not defensive structure. So no, stay away from that. Get a defensive defenseman.
The other thing, and again, I know goaltending is one of the big topics for a lot of people. I definitely know that there's some belief with people close to the team that they will not acquire a goaltender. I can't say that with as much confidence as I've heard some other people say it. I will say this. The Oilers are not going to get an elite goaltender. I don't think that they will get somebody who is an obvious upgrade on Skinner. I don't, because of just the way goaltenders are available. If you have a great goaltender, you're not trading him. Okay?
Fair point.
And then there are some cap issues with obviously how expensive a player the Oilers can acquire. I know Gibson's name still gets thrown around. I mean, isn't he hurt again? Or he was hurt. He gets hurt in games. I wouldn't go down that route. I wonder if they do get a goaltender, and I know his name's been thrown about and he's been talked about on other shows on this station today, like Vejmelka out of Utah. Because he's a UFA at the end of the season. If it doesn't work, you let him walk. If he comes in and he does well, or is your guy in the playoffs, well, then you got a decision to make if he's going to stay or whatever. I don't know if people want this, but I want to reiterate that I'm saying this. I would not trade Stuart Skinner. Like I don't understand the logic behind trading him, because he's still relatively young at 26.
He's young. They've put a lot of time and effort into him.
Right.
And to let him walk, I mean, 26 years old, you say?
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about this a week or two ago. We've seen this. This has happened. It was Devin Dubnyk, who didn't mature as a goaltender until, a few years after Edmonton had given up on him. Now, you're going to have some tough times and struggles with that. But ultimately, this was not the plan. This was not the way it was supposed to go for Stu Skinner to be exonerated as the goalie in Edmonton at this point.
Right.
But to give up on him, I mean, then you're back to square one.
Like I think that if they brought in a goaltender, they would bring in someone who's having a good season. Maybe he hasn't had as good of a young career as Skinner has had. I mean, Vejmelka is having the best year of his career. Do we know for sure that that's who he's going to be all the way around? But I think you'd bring in somebody that you would think is good enough to play in the playoffs as your number one if needed. And if they aren't, then you still have Skinner to go along to play. That's what I think they would do, and they might do with the goaltending situation. But I don't think they're going to jettison Skinner for, an older player that's costs a lot more money. There's not the opportunity to do that.
Are you surprised, Reid, that there has been such inactivity leading up to the trade deadline thus far? Or is this going to be the year
I think it'll pick up probably starting this weekend.
Over the
weekend?
There's
a lot of big trades. Well, there were a couple earlier this season already, right?
Yeah, there were.
And then I think it'll start to... Usually, we've seen the last few years, the days before the trade deadline are bigger than the deadline itself.
And Mex Bezozu chimes in the nasty chat and offers a good question. Is this, tweaking the goalie question a bit, do the Oilers need a better backup plan than Pickard? Are you suggesting that a goalie that they would bring in would upgrade the backup position and challenge Skinner a bit more?
Yes, that they would bring in somebody that they would think could possibly be the number one in the playoffs. That there's a competition between he and Skinner the rest of the way. That's who Vejmelka would be in my mind if you want to go down that route. James, I don't know what a sunk cost fallacy is. You're going to have to outline it for me, and then I can talk about your I'm being serious. I'm not being sarcastic. I don't know what that is. You're going to have to tell me, and then we can talk about it. Do you know what it is? A sunk cost fallacy? I don't know what that is, James, so you're going to have to help us out.
Well, I think it would have something to do with saying the development and the time and effort you spent developing Stu Skinner
is why you hang on to something.
Well, or that that's what I think anyways. But I don't know either. I think that's...
Yeah, well, that's why he should explain this for us more precisely than having us speculate. All right, 780-218-9999 is where you send your texts. We'll get to a few of those when we get back. That's the River Cree Resort and Casino hotline. You can email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com. I got a couple limericks to get through. Keep posting in the nasty chat and give us the thumbs up on YouTube as well. The thumbs have slowed down.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's click the thumbs. What are you waiting for? We got to get it done right away.
Ryan Hartman's 10-game suspension has been dropped to 8 games with the Minnesota forward available for play as soon as March 4th against Seattle. Meanwhile, Trevor Zegras of the Ducks has been suspended 3 games for delivering a hit to the head of Michael Rasmussen last night. Zegras did not receive a penalty on the play, with Rasmussen now considered as day-to-day missing practice this morning. In a light slate in the NHL has Winnipeg hosting San Jose while the Golden Knights meet the Kings. And on the court, Brooklyn visits Washington. The Nuggets tip off with the Pacers while Philly plays without Joel Embiid against Chicago as he gets imaging on his knee, having 8 games around the association. And all 9 games in spring training wrapped up today. The Angels overcame the Giants 7-4. The Mariners beat the Brewers 12-8, and the Rangers stomped their opponent, the White Sox, 11-3 before the Cards and Blue Jays get back at it tomorrow. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their showroom offers all the best and latest in flooring, tiles, and area rugs. Tell them EST sent you for 10% off your next purchase. Shop in-store or online at ParamountFlooring.ca. We have a quick timeout before we continue here on The Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Love is in the air. I love you. And you? And you? And you! Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
Missing the course? The Canadian Ice House is here to keep your skills sharp. TrackMan golf simulators are open. Real golf action right in downtown Edmonton. Don't let the off-season slow you down. Visit us in-store or check out thecanadianicehouse.com for all the details.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. March 21st, don't miss Grits and Glamour, 2 country icons, Pam Tillis and Lori Morgan. Live at the venue at the River Cree.
Except for Monday, which was never good anyway. Tuesday, I get a little.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Guns take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Guns today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. We are in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them at jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today.
Good.
Well, the Emperor really likes James H. Brown.
Big fan.
He's a big fan of them.
They've got him out of a few issues.
Yeah, well, when he force chokes somebody, they go to James H. Brown. Or no. Well, I don't know. All right. Get the thumbs up going on YouTube. We know we got a lot of people watching there. Okay, we just hit 100. Now we got to get to 100. So we got to 100 in less than half the show, which means mathematically we should be able to get to 150 in the second half of the show so we can get in a double word of the day. Sunk cost fallacy from Scotty knows. Our tendency, Scotty does know. I wonder if we just asked any question, if Scotty would put it in there. He's like our own personal Google. Scotty knows says our tendency to follow through with something that we've already invested heavily in, be it time, money, effort, or emotional energy, even when giving up is clearly a better idea. Well, I understand that.
I understand, but the key word is there, when giving up is clearly a better idea. I mean, you can't say that right now, that getting rid of Stuart Skinner is clearly the better idea.
Well, I don't think it is. Some people might think it is.
Maybe that's
like if they bring in another goaltender that's on par with him historically to also play or to compete with him or to push each other or to be maybe even the number one in the playoffs or a very good security blanket, I'm fine with that. I personally would not be fine with not having Stuart Skinner on the Edmonton Oilers.
That's right. I'm on the same boat. Bring somebody in to challenge him, sure. Push the envelope a bit, tides or ships rise together, that kind of attitude, sure. I'm all for that. I just don't see giving up on a 26-year-old Stu Skinner to be the be-all, end-all for this team.
Right. But it would be like, hey, Jay, I'm going to keep golfing this summer. And you saying, okay, yeah, but like 5 years ago, you were shooting 105, and now you're shooting 107, and you've spent $15,000 on clubs and memberships,
exactly.
And you're angry every time you play. Yeah, but I just bought these new clubs, or I've been playing so often, I might as well just keep playing. And you're like, well, you're just costing yourself time and money.
And you know what? It's okay to speculate. It's okay to have your own opinion. That's the only part of this equation, this sunk cost fallacy, that you really have to not. Nobody knows the answer to that.
Okay, Scotty knows my next challenge. I want a brief biography of the greatest Klingon warrior of all time. Who is it and why?
Beautiful.
But like 5 sentences or less, Scotty knows. The greatest Klingon warrior of all time.
What do you think about this that came in on the River Cree inbox?
Oh, we got to get to this first. I got to do the Damon's thing.
Yeah.
We're doing buying or selling for Damon Bunting, who was in on Friday, gave us some great merch. Damon Bunting has been a consistent top-producing realtor in Greater Edmonton for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Remember, he made me read it like a wrestler on Friday. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do the whole thing. Community driven. He understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. That's like a horrible wrestler voice. I turned into Nosferatu immediately. Yeah, I was trying to do Macho Man. What did the Ultimate Warrior sound like? I can't remember.
He was like, like he would speak to the
almost like he was getting spirits.
But he wasn't
with
like
him.
Macho Man would be the that's the wrestler you want to try and replicate that. Oh yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And I didn't watch enough wrestling to know what they sounded like.
We're gonna buy homes and then we're gonna move into the homes.
Check him out, DamonBunting.com, Instagram handle Damon Bunting Real Estate. People just tuning in are like, that was a real estate ad? It sounded like they were describing some sort of new wrestling association. Bronco Nick says, you just described my sister with that golf reference. Thanks, Reid. And then he has a bunch of laughy faces. Anyway, that was the first thing that I think of.
Well, Mike, the Michigan fan, the consummate voice of reason on the Reid Wilkins show, says, why would a team trade or get rid of their starting goalie when they were the sixth best team in the NHL right now?
Well, they might not, though. That's the thing, and we don't know what Stan Bowman is thinking.
We don't know.
No, we're doing this conversation based on the conversation that a lot of Oilers fans are having and have had at other times this season. That's all.
That's all. Opining.
Somebody in the nasty chat just going by the. Oh, no, that person just deleted the message. Well, let's forget about that.
Classic.
James says, how would the room take to having Pickard being moved, and will a more established goalie be able to adjust well to playing behind the Oilers team defense? Well, I'm not suggesting that Pickard would be moved, by the way. I'm suggesting that he would maybe be assigned, or they would carry 3 goalies for a while. Well, but here's the thing. I think James, and I don't mean to be sarcastic here, and will a more established goalie be able to adjust well to playing behind the Oilers team defense? But I think that's why the fans who want a goaltending change want perhaps a better goalie to clean up the Oilers' mistakes. So that I don't think there's a worry about adjusting to how the Oilers play defense. I think the way I read the temperature of the fan base here, or at least of some of them, is no, the Oilers will probably keep playing defense the way they do. Sometimes really good, but when they're bad, and they need a better goalie to keep them in those games. So maybe against Philadelphia, it's 3-3 after 2, and you're not down 5-3. Now the Oilers were still bad in the third period. They probably, but that's what I've said. But my critique of Skinner this year, I personally don't think he lets in a lot of like overtly terrible goals. I think he has stretches where he doesn't make enough difficult saves.
Fair.
And the Washington game was probably, or the Philly game was probably proof of that.
You know what? Saturday, Sunday's games, those are the games you take the game film, you bury it in the ground, and move on. There's no sense to rehash that. Move on and try get back to basics.
Just to James again in the nasty side. James, I believe James, though, after the trade deadline, I don't think the 23-man roster rules are in effect. You just still have to be under the cap or your cap projection, I think. Scotty Knows says, Google says, Kalish, probably Kalish. How would you say it in Klingon? Kalish the Unforgettable is considered the greatest Klingon warrior of all time. He was the first warrior king and emperor of the Klingon emperor. Scotty Knows you're beautiful.
But well done.
Scotty Knows should drop by.
And a Bootsky limerick comes in for thumbs. This is a limerick for thumbs. Great. The boys require some thumbs, so time to get off your bums. For Reid and Jay, and word of the day, which is fun for all their chums.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I mean,
that is pretty good.
That one we might have to put on the wall.
I got a couple limericks. I'll have to
I got another one too.
Kalis is how you say
I wanted to get to this that came in on the River Cree inbox. The limericks are done right now. Munchmaster Flex said, and this is I'll read it all, but I think there's something to this, and we can maybe buy or sell on this. There's a huge misconception that having 2 elite superstars in Connor and Leon will win you a cup. That's not a thing in the game of hockey, especially at the NHL level. Yes, they give you a better chance, but that's not the only thing. You need depth. You need goaltending, coaching, mojo. You need it all. So when you pick up 2 good depth players in Arvidsson and Skinner and they don't hit, that's a setback. When your D and goaltending is actually worse than last year, that's a setback. You need to be cutthroat and fix what's not working, not just leave it up to chance.
Well, and that's why I think that, again, I think they need to add a defenseman. I didn't, somebody said, I'm glad Reid actually said the name of a goaltender. I'm not saying the name of a defenseman because I didn't look into that enough, but, but yeah, but again, I'm always careful. Like, I don't want to make it sound like they're going to get, like they're not going to get a great Vezina caliber goaltender. In my mind, they're going to get another Skinner caliber goaltender who's having a better year than Skinner. And I guess Vejmelka would be in that category. That's why, and he's affordable and he's a free agent after this season. So if it doesn't work out, you walk away, right? Or if it works out, then you make a decision with one of the 2 or keep both or whatever, right? That's my logic there.
Yeah.
So I'm not suggesting
Whoa. Did you just say logic?
Yes, I did.
Reid.
So I'm not suggesting that's the only way to look at it. I'm not even asking for people to agree with me. I'm just presenting why I'm putting that name out there.
How dare you speculate with logic?
Well, it is a weakness of mine. Oh, yeah.
Tamara the Wig Lady chimes in the River Cree inbox.
Tamara the Wig Lady.
Yeah.
Incredible.
About your Klingon name, how to pronounce it. It's Kalis.
Kalis.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Spency 5 Centsy put it in the nasty chat as well.
And boy, Reid, we've had some discussion coming in on said River Cree inbox. This one comes in from Paulie in Macaulay, and everybody have a listen to this one. You're going to love this. Is anyone going to bring up how selfish Stu, in quotes, chose to have a kid in the middle of the season? I'm sure he is sleep deprived with the new baby in the house and now can't play hockey as a result. It wouldn't have been too hard to plan to have their child born in the off season. Thanks, Paulie and Macaulay.
Wow. What do you think of that, Jay? As a father of 3 children, did you time them out based on your and your wife's work schedules?
No. That is, insensitive to say the least. You're talking about somebody that just had a new baby welcomed into their home. And yeah, do you know how many other hockey players in the NHL are going through the exact same thing at different stretches during the season? No.
I don't know by count. And have they all?
I'm going to email the NHL
stats part. the NHL baby department.
Now, in all kidding aside, and I hope that was a joke, but.
Oh, I bet you that wasn't a joke.
I bet maybe it's not.
I believe I've heard from Paulie in perhaps a previous job.
Maybe there is something to be said about that. But now you're on a road trip. You're away, right? This should be the time to get some sleep and to actually rest a bit. But maybe I'm just a little naive to it, or it's been a long time since I've had an infant in the household. But yeah, it can disrupt. No question.
Sure. Yeah. No, I think we'd be ignorant to think that players exist in vacuums, whether it's whatever, children. Whatever they have to do. I mean, we all know what you might have to deal with in life. Now, when they go to the rink, that's supposed to be the space where they focus and play hockey. Yeah, I'm not quite prepared to criticize Stuart Skinner for the timing of the birth of the of the baby.
I like this one that comes in from Nacho Man, clearly taking advantage of the situation. Enough Star Wars talk, he says.
People
I love
doing
those
that.
ones, yeah.
People love doing that.
We had another one that came in from Moose. The Moose. I'm tired of Knoblauch's idiotic line shuffling and his robotic answers to questions. The coach has no fire, and that's how the team plays. Reid, I've talked about this. In my opinion, I would prefer to have a coach that has a little bit more fire under their you-know-what. But, I mean, these are professional athletes. Do they need to, or should they need to depend on their coach to get them through 60 minutes of hockey?
I don't think so. And again, I mean, this comes up whenever the Oilers are struggling.
Exactly.
That some people don't like Knoblauch's demeanor, how he answers questions, how he says or doesn't say. But if you listen closely to him, he is critical of his team.
Sure.
Like, when he pulled Skinner, like he said, those should have been stopped or something like that. I think he said on the weekend that it wasn't a very good game. He just kind of uses the same tone of voice as when he says they had a really good game. Again, they choose how they're going to be with the media. They choose how they're going to present themselves publicly. I don't look at it as an indication of how they coach necessarily. And again, for me, I would sooner hear a coach who comes out and is respectful and talks and answers the questions as best as he can, as the one who comes out and yells every game. And I've told these stories before. When I was covering in the Alberta Junior Hockey League and Junior B, there's not a media room. When you're waiting to hear from the coach, you're waiting outside the door to the dressing room. And I heard some coaches very, very animated. Well, I guess I can't say animated because I didn't see them. I heard some coaches very loud and very angry with their teams. And then they would open the door. Oh, hey, Reid, you want to talk to me? And give the most subdued, run-of-the-mill. So, I'm just saying to remember that. Again, if you don't, you can have whatever opinion you have on Knoblauch, that's fine. I'm just saying what you see publicly is not always what they're giving behind the scenes.
Well, speaking of parenting, yeah, sometimes you got to put on a little show for the kids just to make sure that they know mommy and daddy mean business.
All right.
And then you turn around and snicker to each other saying, can you believe they said that?
Portions of this month, portions of this hour. Well, it could be also portions of this month.
Sure is.
Portions of this hour presented by Canadian Brewhouse. The reason I said month is because it's a birthday thing. Make your birthday legendary at the Canadian Brewhouse. Epic food, killer drinks, and a vibe you can't beat. Plus, get free nachos with our app. Book your party now, the Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house. Keep clicking away at that thumbs up on YouTube. We are approaching word of the day territory. Wouldn't it be great if you were the one who got us to 130? More on the Oilers and our top 3 for food sausage when we get back.
It's the Kings and Golden Knights dropping the puck while the Jets take on the Sharks, having just 2 games in the NHL. And from Anaheim, Trevor Zegras has received a 3-game suspension for his interference on Detroit's Michael Rasmussen. Zegras threw a late hit driving his shoulder into the head of Rasmussen during the second period of last night's game. That resulted in Rasmussen being listed as day-to-day this morning. And for the Wild, Ryan Hartman had his 10-game suspension for roughing Ottawa's Tim Stützle reduced to 8 games. Hartman can get back in action March 4th in Seattle. And on the court, Miami plays Atlanta, Portland, and Utah matchup while Joel Embiid sits out due to injury when the 76ers face the Bulls, seeing 8 games around the association. And all 7 spring training games wrapped up in the MLB. The Reds walked past the Dodgers 8-1. The Giants fell 7-4 to the Angels, while the Cardinals won 7-4 over the Mets, seeing the Cardinals and Blue Jays play tomorrow. This sports update is brought to you by Sit and Sleep. Transform your home at a fraction of the cost during Sit and Sleep's winter clearance event. For massive discounts on major sleep brands to unbeatable deals on Canadian-made custom furniture, Sit and Sleep's winter clearance event is a can't miss. Plus, enjoy free local white glove delivery and special financing offers that help you bring home the best. Visit Sit and Sleep today in South Common, next to Planet Fitness. We have a quick break. The Reid Wilkins Show returns on the other side of the messages. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, protect your interests. They'll be there every step of the way to help answer your questions and help you get your life back on track. Trust Alberta's precedent-setting injury lawyers with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, call James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, 780-428-0088, or go to jameshbrown.com.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Welcome back. We are banging along here. What are we at here, Reid? Rick? We are at 119 thumbs up. We're boogieing along. I wanted to just quickly give an update as we carried this story. Shortly after it happened, we had local director and producer Adam Scorgie on, whose child was a part of a select soccer team here in Edmonton that was saving up money and fundraising for 2 seasons to go to this Mayor's Cup in Las Vegas, only to find out that somebody had allegedly ran off with the fundraising proceeds. Just a note that somebody has been arrested, and it would appear to be the coach that they thought. Now, obviously, all of this is alleged. It's nothing's firm, but it was just, you know what? The community came together on that one. They had started a GoFundMe page. The day Adam Scorgie came on, he was on our show saying, yeah, I think it's at about $12,000 raised. I went and looked at it. It was already at $18,000. Well, they raised over $60,000.
Oh, wow.
For these kids. So the kids will be able to go to next year's tournament. I know the director of that tournament already said they'd waive the entry fees for the team because of what they've been through, but just a good on you. I mean, if people talk about this stuff in our community, that's why talking about local stuff is important to us, and having that on and having that discussion. But it does appear as though somebody's been arrested in that regard. So positive, a little bit of positive news here on a Monday where the Oilers aren't looking so positive.
No,
right now.
Gave us nothing to smile about. Yeah, well, you sent that to me this morning. I did see it last night. So yeah, I think there's a court appearance coming up in March. So we'll keep an eye on this one for sure.
Absolutely, and it just feels that, you know what, whatever the person that was involved aside, but the fact that the community came together and rallied and raised that much money for these kids to be able to go to that tournament,
yes,
is something they'll never forget. Tournament aside, but they'll just never forget that we got to have each other's backs.
Yes,
right.
Yeah, no, thanks for bringing that up, Jay, for sure. All right, 780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox.
Well, we got some more bangers coming in here, Reid.
Good. Good.
Well, this comes in from Emery. The Oilers never seem to learn a lesson. You would think after how they started the past 2 seasons, they wouldn't want to get stuck in a hole again. Why can't they learn? That's a great question.
A fair question, but I mean, I think it's a little extreme to say that teams will never get beaten badly or have bad stretches. Like I don't think the Oilers have lost 3 in a row because they refuse to learn from last year's start or last year's Stanley Cup final or the start of this year. I think they've lost 3 in a row because they're playing below their expectations and they have some players who can make massive mistakes defensively and give the puck away and not cover, and it's biting them in the butt right now.
Well, Vegas was slumping recently.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's a sign of a lack of learning, per se.
I don't know. I think there might be something to be said about that, because you're supposed to learn from your mistakes.
True.
And although you can't be expected to be 100% every night, every game, just the lack of wanting to be there. Like I said earlier, you're not expected to be perfect, but when you make mistakes, make them at 100%.
Right.
Don't be a bystander in a defensive zone.
Sure.
I mean, it just happened too much, and the wheels fell off in that third period yesterday. That was gross. That was probably, I mean, that's one of the worst. What, 2? I guess. Well, for sure, the worst.
Well, these 3
stretch.
games are the worst. Is the worst 3-game stretch since the start of this season.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess to be determined.
But again, it's a pro sport with another team. I mean, it's like saying, well, why don't teams learn that Draisaitl's going to shoot from there? Why don't teams learn that Ovechkin is going to shoot that one-timer?
They're mesmerized.
They're good,
by
right?
Connor.
So I don't know. I don't chalk up this 3-game stretch to like a lack of learning or apathy. I just think they're playing bad.
Moist Man on the River Cree inbox. I remember when parents were blaming Cam Talbot's bad play on him and his wife having twins.
I remember that too.
Leave the kids alone.
I was doing those post-game shows.
And Brent P says, 0 chance Skinner is doing any overnight parenting and does not have a nanny.
By the way,
you never know.
By the way, Talbot's kids were born early in the 2016-17 season. And then he was a top 5 goalie in the league that year. Then the next year, he wasn't very good. And then that's when we started getting it's because he has 2 1-year-olds, not newborns. When they were newborns, he was outstanding. Because remember, that was when I think they started 5-0. And then they lost a game, and then they moved a practice. They were going to have like one day off and practice the next day, and then they flipped them because his kids were due the next day. And I think the NHLPA got a little upset because the Oilers or just altered the schedule or something like that. So actually, if I remember correctly, the season that Cam Talbot's twins were newborns, like under the age of 1, was the year he was awesome for the Oilers. So maybe more goalies should have babies, but have them at the start of the year, not in February.
Maybe that's the secret timing.
That's the timing. That's how you got to time it out.
I don't know. They're in a slump. They'll come back. You know what's the most important part of the regular season, Reid? Is getting into the playoffs.
Well,
and
that's
a totally new season.
That's helpful. Yes.
That helps, right? Try to get in there healthy. Try to get there on a bit of a roll.
Yeah.
Which there's plenty of time left to do.
Yeah, there is.
And it's not like this is, foreign territory to this team to have slumps. This team has been known to slump and then rebound.
Yes, I do think they'll play better. I think they'll do something at the deadline. Will it be enough? Well, we won't know until the day they're eliminated or win the cup. Really. I feel again, this is one of those shows where I feel like I need to apologize to the listeners for not having my hair on fire.
But you can't.
If I ever actually have my hair on fire, well, not literally, but figuratively, then you'll know that something's really wrong.
Reid's top 3 maybe down the road.
I think it's quite likely they do not win a game on this road trip. And I still think they're going to play better and be a very good team and very, very dangerous in the playoffs. But I think they're playing that poorly right now, and they're playing against some very, very good opponents. Tampa Bay's won, 5 in a row?
5 in a row.
Florida's very good. Carolina's very good. I guess they might not see Matthew Tkachuk on Thursday. We'll see what's going on with his injury.
But
I think this is going to be a painful road trip for the Oilers. And then, of course, by extension, for their fans. Sorry, everybody.
I'm looking forward to these 2 games because, we'll get to watch the first period on the ESTV.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be right here watching the game.
Give you some live play calling. We'll just call the game. Hey, why not?
Well, I don't know if we'll do that.
Do you think we'd get in trouble? I think we would.
Well, I don't think we would. It would sound that good.
Oh, yeah. Well, that player, pass to that player. But we do have something fun for our listeners tomorrow. I'm going to get into it.
You want to tee this up? Sure.
Sure. Because tomorrow is a different show because the game starts at 5:30. So the GCL Diesel pre-game show will start at 4:30 with Tom and Hernan, and we'll go till 5:30, and we're going to come back on air from 5:30 to 6. And yes, we'll provide updates, but actually, one of the players that would have been on that field with me when I made that hellacious hit, was a fellow named Andrew Ford. Andrew Ford played football with me at the Golden Bears, and he has since went on to do some pretty cool things. He is now an animator with, I don't know exactly which company it's called, but he was the lead animator on Zootopia. He's now, which Frozen is it? He was working on another Frozen. I think
it'd be up to Frozen 3, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So
I don't really know.
Andrew Ford is going to join us here. So we're going to have a lead animator from Pixar, Disney. He's been around, done a lot of things. He's now living down in California. So he's going to join us on the show tomorrow and explain how you go from Humboldt to the big leagues in California.
That's incredible.
It is incredible. He was always an artist. He was always doodling, and it was very impressive.
And you know this person?
I know him. He's my friend. I know it's hard to believe.
Was it hard to track him down, or have you stayed in touch with him?
I just text him.
Oh, you're that close. Okay.
I said, Fordo, you got to come on our show. Reid wants to ask you a lot of questions about animation.
Did he know what you were doing now?
He did. Yeah, he did. So he said absolutely.
That'll be fun.
It will be. So
Also-
that'll be, something to,
5:30 tomorrow.
5:30
Okay,
tomorrow.
I look forward to that. Coming up after 5 today, so in a few minutes, and this is something that we want you to participate in as well. We're going to have our top 3 for food sausage. Since there's been a lot of goaltending talk today, and since Stuart Skinner came up that 1 win short last year, we are going to do, and we want yours as well, so you can start sending them in now, and we'll compile them. Top 3 non-active goaltenders to never win a Stanley Cup. Now, we didn't say retired, because there's a goaltender who's not officially retired, but he hasn't been active for a couple of years. You might be able to guess who it is. He's going to be on Jay's list.
Top 3
non-active goaltenders to never win the Stanley Cup.
Ooh, I got one that's going to blow your mind.
I hope so.
It will.
So this is definitely an audience participation as well.
Yeah, let's go.
We should mention, too, because it's a big story. I didn't get to watch this game. Rachel Homan won again. She didn't lose a game all week.
No.
And so I think she was she even close? I mean, I know the games are close, but I think she was only really challenged. What was the final? 6-1? I was at the Bears game, so I didn't get to watch it.
Yeah, and it was as dominant of a performance as she had all week. And I mean, I don't know. It's what she's doing is incredible. I mean, that rink is so dialed in.
Right.
And just she curled 100%, Reid. Yesterday in the final.
So you go in the biggest game of the season,
in the biggest
and you
game,
don't miss a shot.
100% across all 3 measurables. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Wow.
Well, it's not unbelievable because it happened. So
it happened.
So you should believe it. It was unlikely. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was remarkable. It was
remarkable.
It was excellent.
Any of the Opals.
But it was not unbelievable.
It was not.
What's more, an unassisted triple play would be more difficult and unlikely than a perfect game in curling, I would think.
No.
Well, there's been several
who's
perfect
curling?
games. I look. There've been several perfect games at the Scotties.
Professionals. But I mean, if you want
for us,
like 9-year-old Andrew the
be-
accountant
No,
to try and go, well, he turned a perfect triple play or an
You and I-
unassisted
Yeah.
at 9.
You and I could be perfectly bad.
I was watching curling last night, and my daughter, who's in grade 7, they do this rec class, outdoor rec. So pretty much they get to go on field trips every twice a week, and it's right by the Ardrossan Rec Complex.
Oh, nice.
So they've curled. So I asked her, I'm like, how'd you do? Like, what was it? Were you able to throw? Were you
right?
And she said that, yeah, like by the end of they had 2 days there in a row. And by the end of it, they could pretty much get the stone into the rings. That's about,
which is not something we could do consistently.
Far
at the
from
Shamrock
perfect.
last weekend. Okay. Well, that's good to know. But yeah, Holman, an incredible story. And she lives in the Edmonton area. Is it Beaumont?
I believe Beaumont.
Yeah, we'll have to try to get her on the show before. And I think it's South Korea they got to go for Worlds. So that'll be a trip.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, amazing feat. I know a lot of people watch. We had it on at work all the time, but then with me going to the Golden Bears and watching the Oilers on the weekend, I didn't see a lot of the weekend curling. But yeah, I want to recognize that people are chatting about that in the Nasty Chat too. In that Nasty Chat on YouTube, continue to give us the thumbs up. We are a single digit away from Word of the Day territory, so don't hesitate. Give us the click. Maybe you can be the 130th thumb. Thanks as well if you're tuning in on the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn Radio app, or through EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Our game of the night for Play More Tables and Games, and our top 3 for food sausage when we get back.
The EST Hangout.
It was not that long ago that we were holding up Skinner and Pickard, the duo, as one of the best duos in the NHL. Like people looking at Edmonton going, they're not badly set up over there. This is not like Jacques Plante and Glenn Hall duo or something, but are they going to take you to the promised land? I don't know.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Love is in the air. I love you. And you? And you? And you! Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
According to Elliot Friedman, it sounds like Anaheim is acquiring Ville Husso from Detroit for future considerations. Elsewhere, Ryan Hartman's 10-game suspension for roughing Ottawa's Tim Stützle has been reduced to 8 games, with the Wild forward eligible to return March 4th against the Kraken. Meanwhile, Anaheim's Trevor Zegras has been suspended 3 games for landing a late hit to the head of Detroit's Michael Rasmussen last night, with Rasmussen listed as day-to-day missing practice this morning. In just 2 games on tap, LA hosts Vegas while the Sharks battle the Jets in Winnipeg. And in the association, Minnesota plays OKC. The Clippers tip off with the Pistons, while Phillies star Joel Embiid sits out against the Bulls as he gets imaging on his knee. And spring training rolls on. The Cubs beat the Padres 10-5, while the Brewers fell to the Mariners 12-8, and the Diamondbacks etched out the Guardians 4-3. Tomorrow, it's the Blue Jays and Cardinals going at it. I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update. The third and final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Oh my goodness. That's not your band, is it? It's amazing how many people in the Nasty Chat, when we said we were going to have footage of you, thought it was North Shore and or Brody footage. But no, it was you destroying a guy in a football game.
Not yet, bruh.
You're going to find that Brody footage.
I have to.
Yeah. Sorry, would it be Brody footage or would it be North Shore footage?
Good question. I have it. Now, do you remember those miniature cassettes that would go in a video camera?
Yes, I do.
And then to play them, you'd have to put it in a VHS cassette that had a little door that would open and you could play it. I have it on there. So if we can find somebody that has a mini VHS cassette player,
right,
then we're golden.
That's incredible. We got to find that stuff.
We got to find it.
780-218-9999 is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant, all-you-can-eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. We also were asking you, what footage of yourself from your younger days do you wish you had? That was the off-topic topic for William Huff. And of course, the off show that came off this football footage of Jay that we had of him absolutely destroying a guy as a Golden Bear about 20 years ago. Yeah, for me, I guess it would be my first sportscast on television in Lloydminster at old CKSA. I don't know what else I would wish I would want to watch for myself. I'm not very reminiscent or nostalgic that way.
Well, I would like to see that. I'd like to see. Did you play baseball or anything? Or
I just played t-ball. Yeah, it was just
baseball.
minor hockey. Well, and then I played volleyball.
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see a little Reid Wilkins setting the ball.
How did you know I was a setter? Because I'm short?
Yeah, they usually tend to go to that position.
Tend to go to that position, yes.
Collingwood Rob said what he would like to see is when he was playing hockey in Europe, in Hungary, in the early 80s, broke in on the right wing, dodged a huge hip check from one D and toe dragged the other D, then faked the goalie backhand, tucked it around him on my forehand for his hat-trick goal.
That's awesome.
He still has the stick. Well, we got to get that
What
footage.
level of hockey was he playing?
Yeah, we need more information on this. Collingwood
Yeah, we
Rob.
need M&I, bruh. Need more information as opposed to TMI.
Mike, the Michigan fan, says, I would love a video of my long drive days.
Oh, nice.
One at the McLennan Ross Junior Golf Tournament in Stony Plain where they had a long drive competition after the round. One kid hit at 369. Then he launched one 377 to win. Jeez.
Oh, jeez. That's incredible.
What? The other one was at St. Albert Trail Driving Range where I hit one 425.
What?
In round 4. Sadly, it ended up 2 inches outside the grid, and I didn't move on to the next round.
What was the guy? I think he still does it. Jamie Sadlowski, and he played for the Bonneville Pontiacs when I was covering them. I've interviewed him since. He does. I don't know if he's still active, but he was like a. Did he win the world championship? If not, he was one of the. He was tops in the world for a while.
Yeah, he was a competitor for sure.
Yeah, but those long drive guys, that's just insane what they can accomplish. Okay. That's pretty good. So that's Mike, the Michigan fan?
Yeah.
Who we met at the curling.
Phenomenal curling.
He hates me because I don't like the Wings jersey.
Yes. Grumpy Cat, Beer League 2 years ago, had a buddy toss a blind backhand across the blue line after winning an O-zone for me to one-time it. My muffin did score. I should not have looked to the replay. Was way better in my mind.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sarah Cole says, I would like to see when I was Annie in my school play. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That would be, yeah.
The thing is, I don't know if I would want to see anything I do athletically. I mean, I've talked about my golf. And, well, this was interesting. The morning of when the year the Oilers played the Kings in Game 7, I had I was booked for a 4-hour remote at a golf place because I worked with the wife of the guy who owned or was like one of the managers at that golf store. So, you do a remote, you do what's called a cut-in a couple times an hour. Like, hey, I'm holding a golden driver in my hand. You can do the same if you come to Yvonne's Furniture and tickle Jay's belly, or whatever. So as part of the thing to do online, they took a video of me, like, shooting into the screen. And when I saw my swing, I was like, oh, my God. Like, I know I'm not a good golfer, and I wouldn't think I had a majestic swing, but I was just like, what is that? You're the least athletic person on the planet. Go sit in the corner and cower. That's what I was saying in my own head.
No.
That's positive self-talk, everybody.
It's not that bad.
It was pretty bad. It was horrifically bad. All right. Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com is the email. I have a limerick here. Well, better get to the big ukes. He sent it in before the show. The Oilers' weekend was terrible, I'd say. Defense, forwards, goalies did poorly play. Boosh giveaway? Goalie mayday? Have you ever searched for a needle in hay? What a clever man the big uke is.
Well, you might as well keep that going. Waddy and Cloverdale, a limerick for Zach.
Oh.
Have you noticed Zach's shirt today?
No.
You will after this limerick.
Oh, nice.
Zach with a tag poppin' score, choosing corduroy over velour. Worn better than Friedman? Yes, indeed, man. Can we now christen him Zach Lamore? Very well done.
Very well done. Well, I might as well do Gavin's since we're doing limericks now. The Oilers came out very flat. Have all of us saying, what's up with that? Vacation mode loose, but that's no excuse. Get this train back on the tracks. Stat! Pretty good from Gavin. The limericks are getting better, which encourages me.
They are very encouraging.
Let's do our game of the night presented by
Play more tables and games. I almost LeBron'd you.
What's that mean? Didn't show up?
No, I went the other way, and see, the LeBron never works for me. But it's a clip that Dusty uses.
Oh, one of his clips. Sorry, okay. From ping pong and pool tables to darts and dome hockey, plus all the classic arcade action you could ask for, visit Canada's Game Room experts. Locations in Edmonton and Calgary are online at playmoregames.ca.
Play more tables and games.
I don't know why. I just love that. It's such a funny clip. It makes me go. My game of the night, I often go to the NHL, and I often go with a games in the Oilers division if I can. So LA is home to Vegas. Vegas is now, how far ahead of the Oilers are they? 2 points ahead of the Oilers for first in the Pacific. LA has 3 games in hand in the Oilers and are 5 points back. So I will go with Vegas LA for my game of the night. Surprise, surprise.
You know, it's Monday, and you know what that means, Coob.
TMRW Golf League update.
So it's a doubleheader tonight. One of which just finished in overtime. The LA Golf Club came back in overtime to beat the New York Golf Club. They've clinched a playoff spot now. But tonight, starting at 7, you got Boston Common taking on the 2-1-0 Atlanta Drive. Must watch.
And you're going to go home and watch?
No, I'm going straight from here to gymnastics.
Oh, you have gymnastics tonight?
Yes.
Not you have gymnastics.
Why can't it be me?
Well, I don't. I just.
How do you know it's not me?
I'm just saying you don't strike me.
Why would you think?
Oh, like when you go to gymnastics, like where do you go, Jay?
Yeah, it's called Wild Rose Gymnastics, Doug.
Oh, so like you're doing it, or
beam,
vault, loved
bars,
one, or
I do it all. Why would you?
Even when all seriousness, even at your most athletic, when you were a Canada West All-Star football player, could have you done anything successfully in gymnastics?
No. No, not seeing. I mean, my daughter is 8, so I mean, you can. I don't have to tell you what I'm there watching.
Right.
It is what it is.
People know.
I'm there to support.
Yes.
But there are some older competitors there, and what they do is simply amazing. It makes me ill, dizzy. I just watching it.
Right.
A lot of spinning.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
And is your daughter really serious with this gymnastics, or is she more like, I do it?
No, Santa brought her.
Oh, this is the
gymnastics bar for the basement. She is on that thing 24/7. She's the kid that'll walk off the bus and do a what do you call it? A somersault or like a
oh jeez.
What somersaults where you
flip?
go down? No, like what's
cartwheel?
Cartwheel.
Cartwheel.
Thanks, Coob. Yeah, that's my youngest.
That's pretty cool, actually.
It is. Yeah.
That's our game of the night for our games of the nights for Play More Tables and Games. Yeah, we'll see what happens with John Gibson, I guess, with the trade for the. No, Husso has not really, because that was the summer, wasn't it? Husso, Campbell, and Kemper were all available, and the Oilers got Campbell. I guess Kemper's done the best for any of the goalies, though he's on his second team since then already, isn't he? But Husso has actually played more in the minors this year than he has in the National Hockey League. So. Yeah, it's and then the Oilers obviously don't even have Campbell anymore, which is why Skinner is playing as much as he is. Let's do our top 3 for food. Sausage, the best sausages you will ever eat, locally made, packed full of flavor. Order online or visit them in store, 6736 99th Street. Take advantage of their EST discount. 10% off your order by entering the online code EST or mention EST in store, as Food Sausage says you can't beat our meat. We have hit 130 for the thumbs up on YouTube. We need 19 more, just a paltry 19 more, and we get to our double word of the day, which we should be able to hit in the next half hour. But don't delay. Click away. Text a couple people to check out the show and all this kind of stuff. Mike, the Michigan fan. So does he cheer for all Detroit area teams?
Yes.
And he says Husso is great at opening the door, suggesting he's a backup that you don't even want in the game. I think that would be Mike's assessment of Husso. Really think.
Not a game changer.
Charlie wants to know if your band has anything. Well, if your band had anything on YouTube, we would have seen it by now. That would have been played the first day that you brought that CD in. That would have happened already. Okay, we got to do the top 3. What was the top 3? Oh yeah, we need like listeners here controlling the show.
Yes, we need guidance. We need like a regulatory branch of the Reid Wilkins show that sits there on a bar stool and just we
need a regulator.
It just goes like this.
Yeah, like how Letterman would go to his producer and he would just shake his head sometimes like, no, we're not doing that, Dave. Our top 3 goaltenders who are not active in the NHL, so either retired or such as one we're going to name, just not officially retired but not playing. Top 3 non-active goaltenders to never win a Stanley Cup. This was kind of fun putting together this list. You want to do that? You do that guy first because I've already seen people posting him in the nasty chat.
Who, Carey Price?
Carey Price.
Yeah, I mean, do you know he only played with one 80-point player in his career?
Who would have that been?
Yeah.
So someone on the Canadians.
It was his rookie year.
So was that 05, 06? Or no, did he break in a little later? Was it Kovalev? I don't know if they crossed over. Yeah, okay. It was Kovalev.
Well done, Riedrich.
Well, I was going to say that, and then I heard Koob whisper it to himself.
Well, it's cool.
No, it was a little creepy. It was like, Kovalev. It's like you had a ghost in your house or something. Kovalev. So was the ghost threatening you? No, he was just like repeating the name of a former hockey player.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe in a cough.
And I keep finding like the number 27 traced in dust. Wasn't he 27?
I believe so.
All right. I'm going to put Roberto Luongo on this list.
Sure.
Obviously an excellent player. Now, Roberto Luongo did win the Stanley Cup last season as an executive for the, what was the team that won last year? The Florida Panthers. But he didn't win it as a player. Luongo was an excellent player, came very close in winning it while he was with the Vancouver Canucks. I mean, he was a great goaltender, but never won the cup. I'll do my next one as well.
Yeah, you might. Well, I didn't really. I just reminisced of goalies that I thought.
Well, you just made a long list.
I did, and the one at the end. I mean, it's gonna take the cake.
Well, I don't even know who you're thinking of.
Well,
this is exciting now.
You'll find out.
I will find out at some point. I'm going to go with Henrik Lundqvist, another more recent goaltender. Went to one Stanley Cup final as the New York Rangers. They lost to Los Angeles. Just a great, solid goaltender. Year after year was outstanding. Did not win a Vezina, I think, right, when we looked it up? Never won a Vezina trophy. Or was that Luongo that never won one? I should have written this down. But anyway, another great goaltender that never won a Stanley Cup. One of the greatest players of the last 25 years, I think, is Lundqvist.
This one came... Okay, so you've got Carey Price.
You have Price and...
Well, I had Ryan Miller on there.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's often forgotten. 2010 Vezina winner. Moist Man has a few names. J.S. Jaguar, Mike Smith, and Carey Price. Carey Price is definitely coming up.
I would say Price is a good one. Would have Mike Smith ever be considered better than Luongo or Lundqvist? I would say probably not.
No. Dirk shares one that I thought of as well. Curtis Joseph, Cujo.
Yeah, great player.
Great player, but is he in that echelon? Jason and Leduc, Carey Price, Curtis Joseph, Roberto Luongo.
Okay.
Who's your third?
Pete Peters.
Yes.
I wanted to go back a little further. Pete Peters in the early 80s was one of the best goalies in the league. He was in the All-Star game 5 years in a row. He won the Vezina in 83. He was on the season-ending first All-Star team in 1983. He won the Canada Cup in 1984. And I'll give him a bonus point, though it doesn't really matter for this list, but I'll still give him a bonus point for being from Edmonton. I will give it to Pete Peters.
Very good. Do you want to play a little trivia with me quickly?
Yes, I do.
So the last one I'm going to say played from 1968 to 1984. Never won a Stanley Cup.
84, never won a Stanley Cup. Who are you putting on that list? So when he started, there were only 12 teams in the league, and then he played after the Oilers came in.
Well, maybe you're thinking about it differently.
What do you mean I'm thinking about it differently?
Well, I'm just saying, maybe you're...
Did he play in the World Hockey Association for a chunk of that? Is that why he never won the Stanley Cup?
This one might give it away.
Yeah, I need a team or some other clue.
17-0 in the Olympics.
Vladislav Tretiak.
There you go.
That's very good.
That's a good one.
He never played in the NHL at all. Was drafted by the Canadiens. Actually, he might be the number one.
That's got to be.
If you're talking about the best goaltenders never to win the Stanley Cup, I don't even know. I think Tretiak has to be the number one on that list.
Why is?
I mean, we didn't say it had to be in the NHL.
That's why I asked you.
Right.
Very specifically for your wording of the question.
That's a really good point. Tretiak would be
17-0,
far and away number
Olympic
one
record, 1.8 goals against average.
Yeah, and that's a really good point.
Unparalleled.
Best goaltender to never win the Stanley Cup. Tretiak. Good job, Jay.
Coob, what do you got?
I think you had a better list because you had Price. Though I stand by mine, but Price should be up there. And
I like
Tretiak, incredible.
Just for the spelling.
Pete Peters, Peeters in his last name.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, we got a special guest coming up. Helped the Golden Bears advance last night. It's the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne.
The Anaheim Ducks have acquired Red Wings goaltender Ville Husso in exchange for future considerations, with Husso spending his time in the AHL for over the last month. His last NHL game coming January 14th. And staying in Anaheim, Trevor Zegras has been suspended 3 games for landing a late hit to the head of Detroit's Michael Rasmussen last night, with Rasmussen listed as day-to-day missing practice this morning. And just 2 games on tap tonight, LA hosts Vegas, while the Sharks battle the Jets from Winnipeg. And 4 games are live in the association. Chicago leads 13-8 on the 76ers as they play without Joel Embiid, and the Nuggets hold the Pacers 13-7, while the Nets trail 13-4 to the Wizards, seeing all 3 of those games early in the first. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding area since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. We have a quick break before we return here on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Darren Dreger joins us.
What about Jordan Binnington? Could Armstrong parlay the success of Jordan Binnington in that championship final overtime win into getting a hell of a return for an experienced veteran goaltender? Don't know, but again, for any team that has a goaltending need, I feel like those are the conversations that you have to have.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by Southport Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
The Canadian Brewhouse wing flavors of the month are going head-to-head. Spicy Dill 2.0 versus Bang Bang Sauce. Head to the Canadian Brewhouse for wing night to cast your vote. Great wings, cold drinks, and an atmosphere you won't forget. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. March 21st, don't miss Grits and Glamour, 2 country icons, Pam Tillis and Lori Morgan. Live at the venue at the River Cree.
Except for Monday, which was never good anyway. Tuesday, I get
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
All right, don't delay any longer. My goodness, hit that thumbs up on YouTube. Jay just told me he has a couple bangers for words of the day. So the way the word of the day works, if you're new to the show, Jay gives me a word. I have to spell it and figure out the definition. So once we get over 130 thumbs, we get a word of the day. Once we get to 150, it's a double word of the day. So let's click away. We're past 130, but let's get us to 150. Encourage your loved ones, friends, family, co-workers, colleagues, even your enemies to tune into the show and click the thumbs up. Subscribe on Edmonton Sports Talk as well. A lot of Oilers discussion today. They're back at it tomorrow on the road against the Tampa Bay Lightning as they try to end a 3-game losing streak, which is their longest losing streak of the season. They're going to have to play a lot better. So we'll be on from 3 to 4:30, then Tom and Hernan at 4:30 to 5:30. with the Oil Stream GCL Diesel pregame show, and then Jay and I will wrap it up from 5:30 to 6. I went to the Golden Bears games both Saturday and Sunday. They beat Calgary last night to advance to the Canada West semifinals. A big reason they did was the play of this gentleman, Golden Bears defenseman Aidan. I had you on my show when I was on 630 Ched, hosting Inside Sports, and my first question to you was, how do you say your name? So I'm going to give it a run here. I believe it is Aidan de la Gorgendiere.
Yeah, you got it right.
I got it. Well, and I heard it announced 3 times last night because you had 2 goals and an assist. Thanks for hopping on the show. I don't think we've ever seen each other because you did phone when you were on my show in the past. So thanks for coming on the Reid Wilkins show. Look, tell me about that series against Calgary. My impression is the 2 games I saw, they try to clog it up and counterattack, and they have a pretty good goalie. But what was it like being out there against the Dinos?
Yeah, they're a great team. They have a big forward group, so they pressured really hard on the defensemen. They trapped in the neutral zone, so it's pretty hard to gain the offensive zone with speed. But I feel like we did a great job of sticking with it. We put a lot of pucks on net, and credit to Carl Tedachuk, their goalie. He had a great weekend, but fortunate we found a way to win that series.
So you win game 1 in overtime. You're up 2-0 after 2 periods in game 2, on the verge of winning the series, and they rally to win game 3. And then they did score first as well in the 3rd game. You know, these are short series, but you guys were favored. Tell me about the mental rebounding you had to do after seeing game 2 slip away the way it did.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I think obviously we wanted to win that game. That was our main goal. We were pretty confident we were going to win that game. But credit to them, they came out, they played really well in the 3rd period, and unfortunately we couldn't find a way. Our coach came in, Herbie came in after the game and just said we got to reset. And I think everyone went home, just went to bed, reset, and we came in on Sunday ready to go.
All right. Now you move on to play Mount Royal on the road this weekend. I know a little bit about them. I mean, they've had a pretty good program for several years. What are some of the challenges the Cougars are going to present?
Yeah, they got a really offensive, really talented offensive group. They got a couple D-men that can really play as well. So we're gonna have to stay pretty disciplined. We can't give them power plays. We got to stay out of the box, and we'll get a game plan going this week, and we got to execute it.
Do they play on the bigger rink? Are they Olympic size ice?
Yeah.
Is that different for you guys?
Yeah, it is. I think them and UFC are the only two teams that play on the Olympic size rink. But I think it helps our game really well. We got a lot of fast players, and we like to play a fast game. So it's right up our alley.
How was it on Saturday night? Because you guys had to go with 5 defensemen, right? And you had Bruce McGregor as a forward filling in on D, and then I think a forward got hurt, and he went up and played forward. What was the juggling like on Saturday night?
Yeah, I live with Blake Gustafson, and he actually got hurt, but so he came back, and then Bruce dressed on Saturday, and And then, I think one of our forwards went down, and then we were kind of just rolling 5. And I don't know, it's awesome. All of our D are pretty easy to play with, and we all kind of know each other's tendencies, so it wasn't bad at all.
Aidan, the series obviously went to Game 3 on a Sunday. I mean, when I was going to U of A after a big victory like that, the boys are fired up. We're, moving on. Big win over the dreaded Dinos. We'd all head upstairs to the Rat and sharing a couple pitchers, maybe some chicken wings. Is that still a destination for athletes? Or where would you guys? I mean, we've learned a lot about how the hockey teams are changing and sports are changing, where you can hang out by yourself but still be playing video games with your teammates. Are you guys still going for a pint after a victory like that? And do you still go to the Rat?
If I'm being completely honest with you, I don't really know what the Rat is.
Oh no, the room at the top.
The room at the
Students
top.
Union building.
There's a bar at the top.
Still up there, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a bar at the top of Students Union building. There's the tower there. I think it's on the 7th or 8th floor. I mean, Aidan, I've got to tell you,
he's so focused he doesn't know.
Laser focused, and I appreciate how you said, if I'm being completely honest. Okay, so the Rat. Well, okay, here's just.
So Jay played Golden Bears football, in case you missed that. Okay, 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I would take the opportunity to go up there. The views are great. The food's lovely. The beer's always cold, or water, or whatever libation you choose. But I would definitely show the boys around. And say, hey, I heard about this new place. We got to go check it out.
Definitely will.
Okay, will Aidan be able to see the hit?
I don't know.
Coop, can you play? So Jay played. He's modest. He played safety, Golden Bears football. I should know the years by now.
02 to 06, I guess.
So about 20 years ago. He played safety. He was a Canada West All-Star, All Canada West, all that type of stuff.
Wow.
So he found some footage for a reel that he put together to maybe get drafted into the CFL.
That's
right.
And
he did go to the CFL Combine. So he was very good.
That's awesome.
Okay, we'll see if you should be able to see this on your screen, Aidan. So Jay's going to be circled, and you'll see him. Okay, can you see the footage here, Aidan?
Yeah, I got him. Yeah.
Okay, so there he goes across, and there's the hit. He's laughing. This, as you probably know, Aidan, this is no longer a legal hit in football.
Yeah, I think I would have been asked to leave the game after that hit now, Aidan. So. Hey, I was at the U of A today. My daughter was running at the Butterdome in the running room games. As a student there, I'm assuming you live close to campus, because heaven forbid you have to park anywhere on campus. Are you in walking distance from your studies?
I'm not. No, I actually live out in Ardrossan. I live out in Ardrossan. So I played with Blake Gustafson on my team in Saskatoon in junior. So when I decided to come here, their family was fortunate enough to let me into their house. So I'm living with his parents and his younger sister and Blake, and it's the best time ever. So it's a little bit of a commute every day, but it's worth it.
We're neighbors. I lived out that way too.
Yes.
Maybe,
That's amazing.
We should have carpooled to the U of A today. It would have saved me $18.
Well, then Aidan you could have just brought Aidan here, just could have done the show with us.
Yeah, we'll have to figure this out, Aidan. We've been missing out. I'll come pick you up. I'll drive you in, and we'll go to the Rat. Lunch is on me. Everything.
Everything's great. What are you studying again?
I'm in arts right now. I'm kind of focusing on the criminology, sociology. I want to be a RCMP member when I finish playing hockey, but obviously I want to play hockey for as long as possible.
Well, good for you, and that's a great profession that you're pursuing as well. And you're originally from BC?
Yeah, just outside of Vancouver.
Okay,
yeah,
so does the family get to see you a lot, or how does that work? Like play a lot?
My dad tries to come out. My dad tries to come out as much as possible. I think he was going to make the trip to Calgary next weekend, but he's extremely busy as well. He's actually a member as well, RCMP member, and so is my sister. So they're both pretty busy with their jobs, but they try and come out as much as possible.
All right. Did you guys practice today, or did you actually get a day off the ice?
We got the day off today, so we'll get back at it tomorrow.
Okay, and then will you practice and drive down on Thursday for Friday's game?
Yeah. I think we practice in the morning, then we'll head out Thursday afternoon, get down there and probably have a couple meetings or whatever and get ready to go.
All right. Well, you've been a great addition to the Golden Bears. You're well deserving of your stats in the first star last night. You stand out for your play, but look, you stand out because of your name as well. What is your nickname with a name like Aidan de la Gorgendiere? What do the guys call
That's a great question. This is awesome.
Georgie? I don't know. I'd call you Georgie probably.
No, a lot of guys just call me Della. Keep it pretty simple.
Oh, they picked the middle.
Yeah, just Della. That's all.
How many times have you shown up to the rink, maybe with a new team? You've been, playing hockey since a young age, and where they just totally butchered the name on the back of your jersey?
Oh, yeah, it happens all the time. Yeah, it happens all the time, especially in away rinks like their in-game announcers. Sometimes it's pretty funny listening to those guys try and.
What do you think is the worst pronunciation you've heard?
Oh, I don't know. There was one time when I was in Saskatoon, I think we were on our BC road trip, and I think we were in Kelowna, and the announcer says Aidan, and then he says Della, and then he just didn't say anything else. So
he gave up.
It was kind of funny, but yeah.
All right. Well, a great series against Calgary. And, of course, I'll remind everybody, against Mount Royal, it's the Canada West semifinal. So I know you guys want to win the league, but if you win this series, you have a spot in Nationals, which is an important step as well. Hey, thanks for hopping on. Thanks for being able to do the video as well. We really appreciate that. All the best this weekend.
Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it.
Right on. Excellent player for the Golden Bears, Aidan de la Gorgendiere.
What a beauty.
I could say it.
De la Gorgendiere.
Yeah.
I mean, who can't say that?
He's good. He's legit good. I think. Wow. I mean, we've had some great Golden Bears players on this year. I think he's their best player of what he does from the back end.
Plus 28, 34 points in 28 games. Yep.
Yeah.
Fits
Lives by our Drawson.
He's my neighbor.
You know everybody in our Drawson, right?
Yeah, I'll just drive up to the 3 houses in our Drawson. It's got to be one of them. Is Aidan here? We got to go to the Rat. How about that? Didn't know the Rat.
Abuski says, now the Jay has tipped off a current Golden Bear about Rat. I hope the after effects don't render their PK as useless as the Oilers has been of late. Jimbo saw your hit. I guess he didn't see it earlier. Says that hit was savage.
Ian Herbers might be calling.
Mex said it was either Rat or Power Plant during my time. Is Power Plant still there?
Power Plant was great. We used to do running from 6 to 7 in the morning at the Butterdome when we go to the Power Plant for breakfast. I don't know if it's still there.
Oh, they had breakfast there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
great
amazing.
Breakfast.
If you're watching on YouTube, continue to click that thumbs up. We just need 15. Okay, so Jay wants to give me both words of the day. He does a lot of work into this. So please click the thumbs up or tell somebody, hey, here's the link. This show is kind of silly. Give us a thumbs up because we need to learn about grammar. That's how I want you to sell it to your friends.
Speaking of former teammates, this is another former teammate of mine, C. Hendo, in the River Cree inbox. Hey, fellas, would you be able to give a shout out to our Edmonton firefighters that are doing the muscular dystrophy rooftop fundraiser? They are on the roof of Station 2. They have benchmarks for the fundraising. They need to hit $20,000 for sleeping bags, $40,000 to set up a tent, and $50,000 for heat. Their goal is $60,000. Day one, they are at $16,000. Sleeping under the stars tonight. People can go to Station 2 to donate in person or look them up online. And if you want to search it, rooftop campout.
Oh, cool. Okay.
C. Hendo.
There's the shuttle.
He was my roommate in junior.
What position was he again?
He would be a halfback. Number 27. Speaking of number 27s, he was number 27.
Him and
just
Kovalev.
like Kovalev.
Nice.
Yeah, we used to have a weird, odd road trip tradition of painting our toenails the night before a game.
Oh, that was him.
That was him.
Right. What color? Green and gold?
No, this was Wildcats. There would be no
Wildcats,
color
sorry.
associations at all.
No color associations.
It was just a very
just important to paint.
17, 18, 19-year-old thing to do.
All right. If you're texting us, it's the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. River Cree Resort and Casino featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. We got our word of the day, hopefully words of the day, and a story about someone calling me old when we get back.
Detroit's Ville Husso has been traded to the Anaheim Ducks in exchange for future considerations, with Husso being an UFA at the end of the season, holding a cap hit of just about $5 million. And staying in Anaheim, Trevor Zegras has been suspended 3 games for delivering a hit to the head of Michael Rasmussen of the Red Wings in yesterday's game, and Zegras did not receive a penalty on the play, with Rasmussen now considered as day-to-day missing practice this morning. From Winnipeg, it's the Jets and Sharks going at it, while the Golden Knights battle the Kings, having just 2 games in the NHL. On the court right now, 4 games are live. Denver leading the Pacers 26-21, exiting the first quarter. And the 76ers trail the Bulls 30-24, while Washington holds the Nets 24-17, nearing the end of the first. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store, or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
All right, appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. Hope you've had a good time. We've certainly had a good time bringing you the show. We need 6 thumbs. 6 thumbs for a double word of the day. Clickety, clickety, click.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
I really am quite a maestro.
You are one of a kind.
We're in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law. With over 200 years of experience, James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them at jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. Good. All right. We are about to get fired up for Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years, the authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need, available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. I think you should do yours first because it's a little more timely based on the Aidan de la Gorgendiere interview.
Thanks to Tamara, the wig lady, for chiming in here on the River Cree inbox. She says it's only open Fridays from 11:30 to 7:30 p.m. now. She's referencing the Rat.
Rat.
I went to the website. It's only open one day a week.
That's weird.
Of course he wouldn't know about it.
Yeah.
And it's usually on Fridays. Well, guess
That
what?
was one of
He's
the-
doing things Friday nights.
That was one of the places to go. Now, I wasn't, you know, you got to remember, my first year of university, I was 17 until
too.
April.
Me too.
So, you know, you have to be careful where you go. And I didn't consume a lot, but you'd go to hang out. Now, I don't even know if I went to Power Plant, but there was Rat and there was Dewey's in Hub Mall. And then I used to go to Academy Pizza quite a bit because they had like a good pizza special.
Ooh, I fell in love with the Rat.
But yeah, Rat
met
is
my
only
wife at
8
the
hours a week. What do they use it for the rest of the time?
I don't know. And Bronco Nick C. Hendo Hendo said the boys got it up on the roof. They appreciated the shout out, help out at Station 2 to donate the rooftop camp out. I can't respond right now to my email system or the inbox system is weird, but Bronco Nick, I did get it. And Reid, I want you to see if you get this. He said, I always parked under the toilet bowl at U of A. If you know, you know.
Which one is that?
Well, that would be...
Now, people have to remember it's been 30 years since
Maybe this
I
wasn't
graduated
built when
U of A.
you were there, but it's the Fine Arts Building that's across from where Earl's was. If you look back...
Oh, the Tim Center.
Yeah.
That got finished just around when I graduated.
If you look at that, just kind of blur your eyes, and it's a giant toilet bowl.
Oh, I never even knew that.
100%.
I did not know it was called that. Okay.
Yeah. And Dinwiddie's. But Dinwiddie's was not open like regularly. It was just more of a hall for special events.
Yeah,
right?
it'd be concerts and stuff, as far as I know. By the way, we made it. Thank you, Nasties. Over 150 thumbs. We will have a word of the day. So Jay's fired up about Rat's very limited hours. No wonder a current student wouldn't know about it. Like, it's not even open at night. Like, I could get if they were just open Friday and Saturday night. But they're open 11:30 to 7:30 on what day?
Friday.
That's not even a thing to be open. So, first of all, I got to before I get to what specifically I'm fired up about, I just got to tell the story. So I go to the Golden Bears game Saturday, and I sat in the media box, the press box, which if you've been to Claire Drake Arena, that's that thing hanging above the visitor's net. Like, you have to lean forward to see the visitor's net. It's right above the Zamboni. So Connor Hood is the U of A Sports Information Director. Thanks to him for lining up Aidan for us. And then there's, so I'm sitting next to him, and then there's a young woman next to me, and I started talking to her, and her name is Caprice St. Pierre, and she's a first-year U of A student, and she's the sports writer for The Gateway. She was very impressive, very, very well-spoken, very enthusiastic about her job. Like, she wasn't like, oh, whatever, I just write whenever. Like, she said she's going to U of A practices. She's like talking about how she interviews Herbers and follows storylines. So, like, very invested in a volunteer position. So I was impressed by that. And she said she interviewed Knoblauch earlier this season. Like, she's a go-getter. Like, I'd be one of those students who probably, I didn't talk to her, but I know she's doing a double major, probably volunteers a whole bunch of times. So, chatted with her a little bit. So then, before I get to the fired up thing, this is the funny part. I go last night, and I go up to the press box, and Connor was the only person up there. But, like, there was a laptop and a coat over another chair. So I'm like, hey, where can I sit? Like, who's up here? And he's like, yeah, you can sit here. And he goes, Caprice, who you met last night, is here again. I was like, oh, well, cool. I said, she seemed very impressive, very, very conscientious. And she said, yeah. And Connor goes, yeah. And she was asking about you. I was like, oh, really? Like, how so? She says to me, is that old guy coming again? I realized to a first-year university student, I would be that old guy.
Yeah, you're probably as old as her dad.
Yeah, probably older if she's
maybe
18
older.
or 19 or 20. So anyway, that was kind of funny. Because, like, in my mind, I'm just me. I'm ageless.
You are. You're
I
the
have
ageless
no age.
wonder. That's everybody
But I
calls
realize
you.
to younger people.
Whenever you walk by in the
and
office.
I didn't tell this young woman my age.
Everybody
but
says, there goes the ageless wonder.
Clearly she was like, oh, this guy's got a white beard.
That sucks, hey?
And very, very old.
That sucks.
But anyway, I was talking to her, and I said on Saturday, and I said, so, will you write a wrap-up for the series? Because this is when it was tied in the third period. So I was like, are you going to write a wrap-up? Well, I said, does the Gateway publish a paper? And I think they do a couple times a year, but it's online. And then I said, okay, so you'll write like a summary of the series. And she goes, well, no, I probably won't write much about this. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, why is that? She said, because the Gateway will not post anything sports related until after March 6th. And I was like, why? And she said, because we're having student union elections and they don't want any other content on the website.
Fired up, Reid.
Now, I realize the Gateway is a student newspaper. I don't know who the editor-in-chief is. If it's another student, I didn't want to ask, or if it's a paid position. But I was like, that is awful. I mean, I went on a rant unexpectedly Friday night about Canada West. Well, now I'm going to go on about... So the point of the Gateway is for it to be a student newspaper.
Yeah.
And to allow the students to engage in journalism or whatever elements of reporting they would like to learn about, right? I think the point is jump in and see how you do. And this young lady, Caprice, is clearly jumping in, covering U of A sports. Like, I talked to Herbers after last night's game quickly just to say hello, and he's like, I think I got to go do an interview with Caprice. He's like, she's excellent. She comes to our practices. She's jumped in, right? Totally volunteer position, U of A sports. Like, there's no glamour to this. Oh, no, you can't publish anything until March 6th because we have a student election. So that's all we're going to put on the Gateway. Well, no, the point of having a website is that there are a variety of things for people to go read, including university sports, which she appears to be doing a very good job covering. I just think that is... I can't even understand why the people at the Gateway would make that decision. And maybe I'm just being an old man yelling at the cloud, but give me a break.
No, you're not.
Like, it's a website. She's going to these games on her own time as a student, probably very busy, probably doing a lot of school, probably trying to have a social life. And no, where you go, but we're not going to publish anything. Just, I don't get it.
That's a strange one, especially because it's a website. That is really strange. And she's there reporting.
She's there as a volunteer.
Who else is there reporting?
I know.
Nobody except you and Caprice.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We're talking about it.
Yeah, and I didn't have to do anything immediately. Mine's here the next day talking about it.
But that is just, I mean, I don't know. Reid, sometimes that school finds a way to make things that are quite simple, quite difficult.
I love the U of A, and I love U sports. I love university sports, but yet I find myself often mystified by some of the decisions made.
That's fair.
Portions of this hour presented by Canadian Brewhouse. The Canadian Brewhouse Express Lunch, served in under 15 minutes, or it's free. Try dishes like the tuna poke rice bowl, turkey club sandwich, and more. Monday to Friday, open until 2 p.m. Because people have clicked. I can't even remember the song I did now. Jay is going to give me 2 words of the day in the final 5 minutes of the program.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
Word number 1, and thank you for clicking. Knitted. And it's not what you think.
It's not Knitted.
This is an adjective.
Knitted. Okay, well, I'll say Nitted. Oh, the tuba comes out.
Knitted. Nitid.
Oh, wow. Knitted. I have never seen this word before. That's a neat little word, isn't it? Knitted. It's an adjective.
Would you like me to use it in a sentence?
Sure.
The knitted wings of the dragonfly shimmered as it hovered over the pond.
So translucent.
Meaning bright or lustrous. Knitted.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So you could say the stars that said Simon Fraser University football player saw after I hit him were quite knitted.
By the way, Pat in the Nasty Chat, Brewhouse had their amazing 40-ounce steak night this weekend. What a thing of beauty. He must have missed earlier when we were asking if anybody had attempted the 40-ounce steak. So a thing of beauty is the review from Pat. Awesome.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say
I love how we do the intro twice, even though the words are like 40 seconds apart.
Then you know what I'm
Rip City Step says, time to start up the glue way instead of the gateway. Are there still comics in the gateway? I don't know.
No idea. I'm not going to go to the website out of protest.
Yeah, me neither. Tousle. The second word of the day. Tousle.
Tousle?
Tousle.
T-O-W-Z-E-L. T-O-W-Z-E-L. I don't even need the music. Yeah, and it's wrong.
You said T-O-W-Z-E-L. Yeah, that's almost how it's pronounced, but it's spelled T-O-U-S-L-E. Tousle. Tousle.
Oh.
To tousle something is to dishevel it. Oh, that's...
I will say it means to dishevel it.
Oh, no!
Well, no, we're short on time.
I was going to use it in a sentence, but I just gave the definition. It's to dishevel it, to make that is to make it untidy or unkempt. Tousle.
All right.
This was a fantastic.
That was a very speedy word of the day. Penner's Pancakes says he misses Outback Steakhouse. Where did Outback close down?
I don't know.
I guess a while ago. I don't know if I ever went there.
They had like
was that the Australian
bloomin'
theme?
onions?
Like a dingo would serve you your food?
Maybe it was dingo.
A dingo ate my steak.
Could have been roe you were eating, Reid.
Oh, my goodness. All right, another fun program. We'll set up the Oilers game tomorrow. Hopefully they can turn it around against the Tampa Bay Lightning, who they're up to 5 in a row. They're doing very well lately. Thanks to Aidan de la Gorgendiere, Golden Bears defenseman, for coming on the program. Thank you to all of you for your interactions and your listenership and or viewership. I like using and or.
I like
especially
that too.
With little,
you give them an option.
Especially with little jingles. Thanks to Zachary Kubish, our technical producer and sports update deliverer. He's Jason Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins. Have a great evening.
Talk delivers a mass audience of key influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the association, Formula One, soccer, golf. Oh, sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.